the roots, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it G. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No. Got the roots, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it G. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
What's going on? What's going on, man? We live from the boxing section. Yes, sir. Canelo Álvarez got destroyed by Dmitry Bivol. Shout out to all the Canelo fans that have to suffer the same depressed and agony that us Deontay Wilder fans had to go through when he lost to Tyson Fury. So I hope you guys feel the same way we felt, ready to jump off a goddamn bridge. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all can see how we felt all this goddamn time. But shout out to Dmitry Bivol for handling his fucking business, doing the total opposite of Caleb Plant and telling him, hey, you think I'm a good fighter? He beat the shit out that man. Shout out to Jashawn Brown for the one time. My boy Dorian in the building for sure. Rob G, Ben Israel, K Sims, what's going on? Listen, we got a hell of a show tomorrow night. We got the contender. You know what I'm saying? Prince Albert Bell coming in the joint tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. But most importantly, I'm excited about Dmitry Bivol handling his fucking business. Okay, what's next for Canelo Álvarez? Let me see. I gotta hold on. Let me check something real quick. I gotta get DJ this damn this password and shit. Yes, sir. We man, we in the building though, man. Listen, it's an amazing thing, man. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. Tino the Great, what's going on? Everything 214, what's happening, big dog? Yes, sir. So I'm excited because watching that fight, man, I thought they was gonna rob Dmitry Bivol. To be honest, I thought they was gonna rob his ass. They didn't end up robbing him. So shout out to the judges. They tried to though. They tried their damnedest to rob his ass though, because ain't no fucking way they had that fight that goddamn close. But you know, and Eddie Reynoso, man, you talk about overrated. Overrated, man. This motherfucker can't make a goddamn adjustment to save his fucking life. You know what I mean? This guy has nothing in the corner for you. Absolutely nothing. And they had the nerve to say that he was a better trainer than Derrick James. Are you out of your fucking mind? This guy, man. Boy, useless. Yeah, man. Canelo Alvarez came with that same bullshit that he thought was gonna work against Caleb Plant. And Bivol stayed on his fucking game plan, handled his goddamn business, and now and still, goddamn it, undefeated. You know what I'm saying? And still undefeated. So shout out to Dmitry Bivol, man, for handling his business on tonight. You heard. Very, very, very exciting. The fight was a good fight, though. You know what I mean? He had Canelo on the ropes a lot in that fight. Canelo looked sluggish as hell in that fight. I don't think he had the right levels of PEDs to get him to the level that he needed to be. I think he miscalculated the PED usage, and it cost him. You know what, Deshaun Brown? I did say that, and he still ain't that goddamn good. Let's be clear about something. Now he whooped Canelo ass, but he big as a motherfucker though. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they was the same height or no shit like that. Dmitry Bivol was bigger than him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to my dog YouTube channel, man. Subscribe to my man's YouTube channel. Yeah, Dmitry Bivol still ain't shit. He still been getting his ass beat by Beterbiev. Beterbiev still gonna beat the shit out of him. So don't get too high off your britches, Deshaun Brown, because Dmitry Bivol is getting his ass whooped when he fight Beterbiev. And you can bet your ass on that. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Hell, he might not beat Joe Smith if they fought again. While you're bullshitting, you did what I'm saying? The black dude might get some more action. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Hold up. Now, we've been waiting on my dog to come up for about a week or two. You understand what I'm saying? Your grandmama's favorite grandson. Your stepmama's favorite stepson. The motherfucking juggernaut. The Big Nasty. The sex symbol. You understand what I'm saying? Mister, it ain't gonna go how you think it's gonna go. Mister, if you leave your girl around, I'm gonna lick her ass. Shout out to my motherfucking dog. The best wingman of all time. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sidestepping. He coming straight at you. Put your 3D glasses on, pussy. Shout out to my nigga, my motherfucking dog. You understand what I'm saying? D to the motherfucking J. What's going on, DJ? What's happening, big dog?
Hey.
Like you said, I got excited.
On, man?
You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
talk about
I'm doing this. I'm going to introduce you, dog. I'm going to start jumping around like this and shit. Yes, sir. It's been a long time since we last got down. You understand? What's going on, big fella? Talk to me, man.
Nothing, man. Just been working, man. I'm about to get this promotion. It's pretty much almost signed, sealed, and delivered. So I've been extra busy there, but I ain't been able to get. So that's why I ain't been able to get on at work. And plus, I don't know what StreamYard has against Androids right now. So I'm trying to figure some things out where I can go live from my phone. So, but within the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be starting my channel. So, we're gonna see what's going on with that, man. But it's not about that tonight, man. It's not about that. Not about me. Not about me. You see, we're going to talk about a man named Saul Alvarez tonight, right? And we're going to talk about his fan base, because this is more so going to be about his fan base than anything, right? I don't want to hear no excuses. All I want to hear is that man got his ass whooped last night. And at certain points in that fight, Bivol was styling on him. Made him look like a kid, man. Made him look like he didn't belong in there with him. Bivol could have knocked him out last night, to be honest.
I'm kind of mad he didn't.
Nah. I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he styled on him for 12 rounds, man. That's a worse look. Knockout and give him an excuse. Oh, man, I just got caught. It happens. I want to do the rematch. I think Cinnamon just found his Vernon Forrest. He might have very well just found his Vernon Forrest. That's all that is, man. I don't want to hear nothing about he was too small, because when he went up and beat an old, washed-up, punch-drunk Kovalev years ago, people was kissing his ass for that. He was
I wish Andre Wood could have came out of retirement, bro.
Huh?
I wish Andre Wood could have came out of retirement.
Man, listen. I said this last night, right? Thank God it wasn't Beterbiev last night.
We're gonna die.
Thank God it wasn't Beterbiev last night, because the Terminator probably would have killed him. Oh man, I guess I mean, this is the same guy who was just talking crazy about going up to fight Usyk at 200 pounds, and he was going to fight Makabu at cruiserweight and take his belt, and he was going after his, fifth, sixth division, and just talking all kinds of crazy, man. These guys get paid too, and a lot of these guys that you fight ain't just gonna show up for a t-shirt, like a one Dmitry Bivol last night. He didn't show up for a t-shirt. He came to win. Whoops. At some point in that fight, he realized, wait a minute. He kind of sweet.
They said, hold up, wait a minute.
Oh, Bivol realized around the third round last night, hold on, man, this dude kind of sweet.
You hit him with that uppercut, and the nigga Bivol took it like
I'm about to have so much fun with this, man. I know it's going to come off as hate, but this is more so towards his fans than anything, about how they couldn't say nothing bad about this dude, and how he was maneuvering himself in the sport of boxing. He's chasing greatness. He could have chased greatness defending his belts against them killers in his own weight class. No, he went up thinking Dmitry Bivol was sweet.
Listen, he saw Dimitri's. He seen Bivol last fight like I did, and said, "Oh, I can beat his ass." And what do I always say about people's last fights, though?
I mean, you only focus your last cut. We can only go by what we saw last.
What do I always say about people's last fights?
I don't know. Go ahead.
I always say, don't judge a nigga too much off his last fight, because it might just been a one-off.
Right.
You feel me?
It might, it could have been one of them situations where he just had an off night.
Yeah.
He just didn't feel like being in there.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't get a nigga a shot at all to beat Canelo Álvarez.
No, I'm not gonna say that, because this is one of the fights that I said that after he went undisputed, because the only guy I really gave a realistic chance of beating him at 168 was Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. And I've said this before too. I was like, it's crazy how he went through the entire division, won all the belts, and never fought the best fighter in the division. That shit was crazy to me. But it's not his fault, though. It's not his fault.
Oh, it's Benavidez's fault.
Yeah, it's not his fault. But it's just it's he had fights lined up in his own division that he could have taken. What's up, Pildo? Let's talk about it. That's my guy, Pildo. I got to mess with him. But this tonight, I want everybody to know this is not for Cinnamon himself. This is more so for his fans that said who had Andrade fought. He's fought more champions than Andrade. It's a reason why he didn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. It's a reason. And guess what? He's longer than Bivol. Whoops. Benavidez is going to throw more combinations with more power than Bivol. Whoops.
He's a horrible fighter.
I have to really go back in the archives and look But off the top of my head, I've never heard another top of the food chain fighter tell a guy who he considered to be not that good that he wasn't going to get the fight. He maneuvered around that man for years, and his fans allowed him to do that. Just like Triple G did the same thing. I think in September he'll beat up Triple G old ass and retire him because that's I don't really have any love for Triple G and how he was allowed by boxing fans, by the majority of boxing fans, to duck an entire division for years. In my opinion. I'm gonna say that in my opinion.
No, ain't no opinion. That's fact.
But back to Saul Alvarez. Now what do? So now you're gonna come back down and fight Triple G at 168, who's never had a fight at that weight. And you got two number one contenders right now sitting waiting on you. Well, Andrade has to win this fight against Zach Parker first. Heel up, champ. Get that fight going.
Fucked his hand up.
Huh?
Fucked his hand up.
No, it was a shoulder.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah, he fucked his shoulder up. Yeah. Piro, I guess that's why contracts were sent, and he didn't get a response. And even that weasel Eddie Hearn confirmed that part. He didn't get a response from Charlo, and he got an overwhelming hell no from Triple G, because Triple G had the opportunity to fight him last summer if he really cared that much about unifying. Andrade had a belt last summer, and he could have fought him then.
Murata?
He didn't want to. He chose to wait on Murata, who was coming off a 2-year layoff, but that's neither here nor there. Back to Saul Alvarez.
What you call him?
Saul. That's his name, man. Saul. That's his name,
Saul.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to calling him Cinnamon because my Spanish ain't too good. I don't mean no disrespect, just my Spanish sucks. So Canelo means cinnamon, so I'm gonna call him Cinnamon.
His daddy was white Irish.
It still showed that combinations, footwork, and movement give him trouble.
I didn't know Bivol.
If somebody doesn't stand back and let him beat on them, he has trouble.
Where did Bivol get this footwork from, though?
I mean, come on, man. It's the Eastern Europeans. They all got, I ain't gonna say they all got good footwork.
Roger, you called it a Cinnabon.
That's y'all, wow. Yeah. Maul and Triple G didn't want to fight him, Prudo. They didn't want to fight him. And Billy Joe Saunders popped dirty before he was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade. So that's 3 champions right there that he could have fought, but somehow, some way, the fight didn't happen. So that's always my defense when people say Andrade ain't never fought a champion. The context matters in these things, man. But my thing now is, where does he go from here? Because he can't go up to 175 again. You gonna run into Bivol, or you gonna run into Beterbiev, because I think Beterbiev is the Terminator, and he's gonna beat brutally beat the shit out of Joe Smith Jr. next month. You know what I'm saying? Joe Smith Jr. ain't got he ain't got it, man. He's not gonna beat Beterbiev. I don't see anybody beating that dude, man. I've seen him walk through flush shots. I've seen people hit him square in that big ass head of his, and he walked through it.
But that motherfucker, Joe Smith, he keep coming though, bro.
Is that gonna be a good thing?
Yeah, I don't fucking know. It's gonna be a bloody
Beterbiev starts.
If you want to join the panel, niggas in the chat.
Yeah, everybody come on the panel. Come on the panel. We're gonna talk tonight. When Beterbiev starts digging them Russian shovels in your skull and in your chest, I mean, come on, Kyle. I gave you the stat, man. 5 out of his last 7 opponents ain't fought again, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, man. Salute.
Terminator. Hey, listen. I think Joe Smith Jr. lost the fight when he fought for the belt. So I mean,
I agree with that.
That's what I'm going on. He might have looked good against his late replacement fight that he fought last time, but the fight when he fought Vlasov, I think he lost that fight.
Hey, Vlasov would. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
Go ahead, right side. I'll fall back, man. I don't like.
No. You cooking, DJ. Go ahead, man. And Kyle, salute to you. Appreciate you letting me up tonight, bro.
That's all good, bro. I'm gonna need y'all
tonight just to survive that fight, bro. You know what I mean?
Nah, I don't disagree.
I busted him open. I think it was early. It was like the second, third round.
Everybody busted him open though.
I mean, he had to dig deep for that fight. And I
want to see what I
think Vlasov even petitioned the WBO to go back and look at that fight. That's how close it was.
I want to see Jesse Hart at 168. I do want to see how he looks.
Well, yeah. Proto, what's going on, my brother? How you feeling, man?
What's up, fellas? What's going on?
What's up, bro?
What up, right side? What's going on, fellas?
Man, real quick, before, man, so I ain't hear y'all breakdown of it yet. Bivol or Beterbiev, I don't know what you call him, whatever his name is. Who y'all like in that fight?
The Terminator.
That's it. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I you always go back to the recent fights, bro. So I saw the Marcus Brown fight the first time, head clash, bleeding, all that shit. I went back and watched that shit the other day, bro. That shit was way worse than I thought it was, bro. Marcus Brown was sitting there looking at the ref like, "Help me, please stop this shit, bro. Stop it." And when Beterbiev, whatever, when he got that cut on him, he seen that blood. I don't know what it did to him, but it brought something different out in him, bro. Like he started beating the shit out of Marcus Brown. I think Marcus Brown, he trained with Earl Spence, don't he?
Marcus Brown did the total opposite of what Derrick James told his dumb ass to do.
Did he? I ain't hear the corner shit.
Listen, he did an Erickson Lubin.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna take this ass whooping and see if I can survive it.
What was the corner instruction? Kyle, you know the corner instructions?
He was saying 1-2, move around and box. That motherfucker wasn't box. He just stood there, high guard, and let the nigga punch on him.
It got up on the fucking ropes for no reason.
What the fuck are you doing? He told
what the fuck are you doing, bro?
The whole shit. He just said, "Fuck it."
But I'm gonna tell you though,
that hot shit, dog. He got touched up.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, bro, when a nigga hitting the body like Beterbiev was, bro, I was looking when I'm watching the fight, bro. I thought Marcus Brown. I actually picked Marcus Brown to win that fight.
Me too.
And I thought he had a good chance.
Think about it too. See, Marcus Brown thought they was gonna stop the fight. See, he was winning the fight, so he thought they was gonna stop it.
With the head clash.
They didn't stop that shit. Hey,
boy.
They didn't stop that shit. Beterbiev seen that blood
and turned up on his blood, shit, boy. Bruh, the way he was attacking the body, bruh, I was like Marcus Brown. When Marcus Brown took that knee, I was like, bruh, stop, just stop that shit, man, because he getting the shit beat out of him now. Like I think it was probably it was 8th round, 9th round, something like that, and it just was, bruh. Hey, so once again, Bivol or
in that fight, was it Tony Weeks?
I don't remember. I ain't gonna lie to you. I
can't remember
Tony Weeks. It was another that laid his ass. Matter of fact, let me look it up real quick while we at it. Hey, I mean, he got shit beat out of him though.
What y'all think about the scorecards for Canelo and Bivol? What y'all think about the scorecards? 115 to 113.
They out of fucking pocket.
What the fuck are they doing, bro?
How did y'all score it? Piro, Kyle, and right side? How did y'all score it?
Go ahead, Piro.
Honestly, I missed the fight, man. I got sick and I slept through it. I barely woke up like an hour ago.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I missed the fight yesterday. I got a chance to watch it today, and so I was watching. Because I was on the road and shit for Mother's Day, I'm watching my phone and shit, and I'm seeing the updates as far as how people are scoring the fights. Bro, I went back and watched the fight today. Bro, I scored that shit 10-2, bro. 10-2. I can't. It's either the second or the fourth round. I gave Canelo the ninth round. I gave him the ninth round. I thought it was
white dude. It was some white dude that was refereeing because it was in Canada somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he beat the dog shit out of the boy though.
But I gave Canelo the ninth round. I gave him, I believe it was the second or the fourth. I got to go back and watch it now to make sure I'm sure. But I only gave him 2 rounds in the fight, regardless. And for it to be 115 to 113, that's a 7-5. I mean, a 7-5 fight. You know what I'm saying? That is not what I saw. I did not see no 7-5 fight. I feel like if Canelo was able to do anything in those later rounds, outside of the ninth round, from 5 to 12, outside of 9, he was getting his ass whooped, bro. Like he got his ass whooped, and I'm saying like it wasn't even. I was just watching the fight, bro. I thought when I was looking at the scoring and shit, one of my partners, he had it 6-3. You know what I'm saying, going into the 10th round. And I'm like, okay, it's a close fight. You know what I'm saying? He had Bivol up, but I'm like, it's a close fight. Man, I went back and watched that shit. I was like, bro, how the fuck were you scoring this? Because ain't no way. Outside of those, the I think it was the 4th round and the 9th round. That's what I believe I had. Outside of that, man, Bivol was tagging his ass. And this was the greatest thing. When I say great, it's the greatest thing for me because of how I look at the sport of boxing. When the way he was able to keep his jab out there, he was using the throwaway jab, he was using the stiff jab, he was using the power jab. He kind of mixed it up, you know what I'm saying? And then when Canelo wanted to come in and attack, Canelo he left with everything and then some that he didn't want to leave with. And so every time you get 1, I'm getting 3, and then I'm gonna come back and hit your ass with 4 while you laying on the ropes after I done hurt your ass. I think Canelo was hurt multiple times in that fight, man. Hey, it's weight classes for a reason, and I'm glad it happened the way it did because now Canelo got to go fight those guys at 68 and 60. He got to go fight them because it ain't nowhere else for him to go.
He ain't fighting at 60.
Let me rephrase it. When I say
you mean the guys that you want him to fight, right? You mean like Maul and Beterbiev and stuff, right?
Sure, we done talked about it plenty of times. You know exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because you said 160, like, nah, he never go back to 160.
No. I don't think he go back to 60, but I'm saying this is the opportunity. He got a campaign at 68. He got to defend his titles. You got Boo Boo Andre moving up, even though he hurt now. Charlo need to go ahead and move up now because this is the fight. Cinnamon is the name you've been calling. So move your ass up and fight his ass. Go fight him. It's prime opportunity right now.
It ain't that easy.
It ain't that. No, I agree. It's not that easy, but this is prime opportunity. You can't say that he ducking no smoke because all you got to do is move to 68 and put yourself in position. And I think Canelo got to start the campaign at 68 for his next 4 or 5 fights, just because 75. If you ain't beat Bivol and Bivol dominated your ass, Beterbiev might knock your ass out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see no smoke for you up there that you can handle. 68 is where you got a campaign at, and they give him the individual. Go ahead.
Man, he goes back to 168. To be honest,
break him down like a fraction.
Man, Beterbiev stops Canelo, bro. He stops him.
Yeah, ain't nothing about to say. Ain't no might knock him out.
Well, he got Bivol problems first, you know, and Joe Smith got. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, Peter. What was you about to say?
Yeah, Canelo's got Bivol problems first, and then Beterbiev's got Joe Smith problems. So the horse before the cart.
Hold on. So do you see Canelo taking a rematch with Beterbiev?
You already said it in the post fight.
Man, that man don't. For what? What the fuck you gonna take a rematch for? He might get beat worse, bro. He might get beat worse,
or he might win. You never know until they get in
there. That man is not going to win the fight, bro.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Russell. What?
No, go. You got it, Pierre.
I was gonna say because I was with Kyle because Kyle said something earlier before I jumped on that like he didn't think Canelo was gonna lose. I didn't think so either, but he lost. So I mean, anything is possible. You know, I thought Oscar Valdez was gonna win. I thought it was a sure thing. I mean, nothing's a sure thing, but you know what I mean. I thought he, had a great chance to win. He didn't. So at the end of the day, like it's
Would you?
Ring, you know what I'm saying? We can talk all we want, but like I thought Canelo was not going to lose. He lost. Props to Bivol, for getting in there and proving everybody wrong. Now he's got to do it. He's got to do it twice.
If Valdez had a chance for a rematch against Shakur, would you?
If he builds up to it, but I don't want to see it, to be honest.
So my problem is why would you want to see a Canelo? It was the same fight. It was the fucking same fight, bro.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but I mean,
okay.
They're not the same fight. You get what I'm saying? They're never the same fight,
No, I agree.
Shakur does some things, you know what I'm saying? They're just different fighters.
When I say it's the same fight, I'm just saying that the skill set is very similar, and their skill sets, Bivol and Stevenson, it gives Eddie Reynoso's team, it give them problems. They're those fighters who have great jabs. They have great lateral movement.
Well, that's the narrative that's going around. But at the end of the day,
no, that's not the narrative. That's what happened.
It is the narrative.
How's that the narrative? We just seen it happen.
Shakur Stevenson is one fighter, and Bivol's another.
But they have similar attributes, and the attributes that they have is what dominated the fight.
That's one of the first narratives that I saw here. I mean,
come on,
can I ask y'all a question?
You're taking away Bivol's, win a little bit,
Can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead, bro.
So when in the history of boxing,
who we talking?
Dirk Banks.
Y'all kind of stepping on each other a little bit. Kind of.
What up, Dirk?
Okay, so yeah. When in the history of boxing has the bigger guy and more skilled guy been an underdog in the fight?
Bivol versus Canelo.
Exactly. Like
Oscar
that's
Valdez.
what I'm trying to say. That
Oscar Valdez is one of the biggest.
I'm sorry, Puro. I know you probably like Canelo, but the dude's always been
I like
over.
Canelo, but I mean, I'm not like a Canelo fanboy.
No, you're not. I've talked to you before.
Hey, were you on Repids chat talking shit to me earlier?
No. I don't think you were
all right,
on
somebody else was trolling me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I just had to get that out there because somebody was being very disrespectful to me. I just want to make sure it wasn't you.
Nah, I've never been. I like you, Puro. You're a respectful guy.
No, we're cool too. That's why I didn't think it was that. That's why I was like, hey, Wembley, get on the panel. And then I was like, okay, that's not him.
No, much love, man. Puro, we got love for you, bro.
Oh no, it's all good. I mean, even if they talk shit to me, I wanted a chance to retort, but it's all good. Go ahead.
But,
DJ.
But to me, Canelo really hadn't fought a real opponent since Triple G. Like, I consider Billy Joe Saunders, or as I call him, Billy Ho Saunders, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant. To me, them dudes is paper champions.
No, man.
They're paper champions, bro. Like, to me, like, the eye test is important to me. I never consider those guys great fighters.
Hold on.
Bivol was the first real opponent Canelo's had.
Well, I wanted to find something. When he says paper champions,
you interrupt. Let him finish.
All right, go ahead.
So we all know in boxing, every champion is not created equal. There are some guys who take advantage of certain divisions that are not strong at the moment, and they become champions. Like let's be real. Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders are not going to Hall of Fame anytime soon. And like they had nothing for Canelo. They have no punching power. Like, paper champions, bro. I'm gonna keep saying that. And Caleb Plant, he looked terrible before he fought Canelo. He fought Caleb Truax. I believe that's who he fought.
Mm-hmm.
Looked terrible in that fight. Callum Smith really should have lost to John Ryder. I don't know how he got that decision.
A little caveat with Caleb Plant, he actually did break his hand in that fight. So, but go ahead.
Yeah. Like, come on, bro. Like, this was Canelo's first legit opponent since Triple G, and you saw what happened. So that's why I say Canelo's overrated, in my opinion. You can still be great and be overrated at the same time. It's possible.
So
when you say shit
overrated
like
fighter, is that what we're saying?
Yes, I believe Canelo's overrated. When you say shit
that
like
means Bivol's overrated, then, right?
No, well, I mean,
no, wait. Hold on. Let me speak. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
I don't like when people try to drive the Canelo narrative that Bivol was overrated. No, Bivol was a better fighter than Canelo last night.
I agree, but I'm not the one saying that. That was dark.
Hold on, let me finish. Now, I do believe that Canelo's overrated as well. Just like the guy just said. Canelo has had damn near what, 58, 60 fights? A lot of his fights have been fluff fights, money making fights. He picks his competition. That's why I was glad to see him lose. I rooted against him. I was happy because it changes the sport. It levels the sport of boxing again in those weight classes. Now Canelo has to get his ass out of 175, where he was dibbling and dabbling at, playing around, and having people believe that he was this ultra super serum boxer that he's not. And now he got to come back to 168 with everybody else. Yeah, because everybody was believing he was this super boxer. Oh man, he's going up out. He could go to heavyweight. He could do this. Get the fuck out of here.
Facts.
Not only
Facts.
he looked washed last night.
We're not gonna say washed. Go ahead, bro.
I'm saying for me, I can say washed. You can say
Brandon Washington. Canelo was all that. We're not gonna take away from what Bivol did last night.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, DJ. Okay, DJ. You show right, DJ.
Ain't no consolation prize either. Talking about, he moved up to 175. Nah, fuck that. You gonna get this smoke.
My apologies, DJ. You right. Canelo was the best version of Canelo we ever seen. Let's get Bivol his credit.
Hold on.
Usually what you want to do.
Real quick. I can say this, and I'm not disagreeing. All I'm saying is I don't think Canelo was the best Canelo we've seen. Only reason is because I think the weight that he had to put on to be available for this fight, that shit, that you can see that shit bothered his ass. It bothered him big time.
He's been to 175 already. We can't use that excuse because he's been there. He's been at 175.
Let me say that. Can I respond to that?
Yes, sir.
I agree he's been there. The problem is when he went there, the fighter he was fighting was a much or one of he was a fighter who was Kovalev. Hell, it was damn near I'm gonna stand in front of you and I'm gonna trade with your ass. If I knock you out, you knock me out. That's kind of how the fight was. You feel me? Whereas in this situation, when he moved up, he fought a fighter who was acclimated to the weight. He had faster hands, better footwork, better, not necessarily, I ain't gonna say better ring IQ, a better jab though. He had everything that you needed to beat a fighter like Canelo. And I think that's exactly what Bivol showed. And that's why I don't even want to see the rematch. If the rematch happened, I wouldn't be mad at it. But I don't want to see the rematch because Bivol gonna beat the shit out of Canelo in the rematch.
Hey.
He might stop.
If he doesn't, though, right side, then what?
Well, if he doesn't,
unlikely.
If he does it, then I got to give Canelo credit, and I got to give Eddie Reynoso credit for making adjustments. The problem is,
and that's all I'm saying. We got to wait till the second fight happens. If it
Usually
plays out like you said it does,
the fight's close,
boom, there it is.
It wasn't close.
But this is the problem, Piero. This is the problem. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, and the same way I think you're agreeing with what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, if they do take that second fight, right, and still get dominated, who do you put that on? Who do you put that on? Because
Canelo and Bivol.
No, it's not. It's on Eddie Reynoso. It's not on Canelo.
No, Eddie Reynoso doesn't go in there and fight, you know. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, you can put on Eddie Reynoso as well. Yeah, he's the guy with the game plan. But at the end of the day, for me personally, you put all this on the fighters. Yesterday's, even though I haven't seen the fight yet, you know, like. Fuck it, they say Bivol won, then Bivol was the better man. That's just it. No, there's nothing to it other than that.
Piero, you seen any of the fight? Any of it?
Nah, brother, none of it. No, not one bit.
Watch the fight, Puro.
I have a theory.
I have a theory.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, nothing's gonna change. Like when I watch it, and I'm gonna say that now Bivol was this, Bivol was that. No, Bivol was the better man. He won.
I have a theory.
I
think the reason
changes, bro.
I have a theory, and it might sound crazy. I believe Canelo chose the DAZN deal over the PBC deal because of nights like this. He knew if he lost to Bivol that people can Canelo was just chasing greatness, like how many people would have went up to 175 to fight a monster like Bivol. But if he would have took the PBC deal and let's say he lost to one of those guys, he was like, I told you. That's why he was ducking them. So it's a win-win, low key. Because
Well,
his
that's what the
fans
fans
got
say,
a
bro.
built-in
I mean,
excuse if he loses to
Well,
Bivol.
Real quick. Hey,
I'm
man,
with you.
there's no
I'm with
excuse
you.
at the
Hold
end
on,
of the
right
day.
side. Hold on, right side. And I'm gonna get my guy Shelton Moore in here. Then I'm gonna let Brandon Washington finish his point because I think he was on to something earlier.
that's what I was going to.
I'm
Uncle
gonna
Jeff.
say this. I'm gonna say this, right? We can't. This is the problem with that theory, right? Canelo was a 5-1 favorite in that fight. So
Because
like
of
nobody
myth.
was, nobody was thinking he was gonna lose. A lot of people weren't thinking he was gonna lose that fight. So
No. I'm not talking about the fans. I'm talking about Canelo himself because he ain't stupid.
I
He
can't
knows.
speak to his mindset. I can't speak to his mindset.
He knows.
Hold
He
on, real
knows
quick.
Bivol could beat him. He's not dumb. They know this. He also knows Benavidez could beat him. But if he loses to Benavidez, that's the dude they've been saying he's been ducking. So that's a whole different type of loss than losing to a guy like Bivol.
Let me jump in real quick.
Loss is a loss, bro. Come on.
Let me jump in real quick.
Not to the fans.
Hold on, guys. Let me jump in real quick. Uncle Shelton, much salute to you. You were the first person that, as far as I know, that I've talked to and I talk this boxing talk on a regular basis. You were the first person who gave me a true breakdown on why Bivol was going to win the fight. You were absolutely right, sir. And I want to hear everything you got to say right now, Uncle Shelton.
The guy is too little. He's too small. There's nobody at 75, at the top of 75. He's 5'7". You guys keep glossing over that.
Yeah.
That's why you're the only person I asked whose opinion, about the fight. So I can only ask yours.
For that weight, I did that for a whole fucking year. That he's too little for those dudes up there. Y'all send his little ass up there, just like I said. They whooped his ass. His ass right back.
Hey, Uncle Shelton. You got to get a better microphone, bro. I don't know what's going on. You got static. You got feedback, bro. We trying to hear you. I want to hear you, bro. I swear I do. You got to get a better
I'll
microphone.
talk shit to you, Shelton. Fuck them.
I will say this though, OG Shelton is one of the only ones that I've heard say that Canelo need to stay his ass away from 175 because they gonna fuck him up when he go up there. And he's part of the reason why I wanted to see him go up. I knew he wasn't. I knew he wasn't gonna fight Beterbiev, but I was
the only person to give a hater fucking excuse on why.
Huh?
Hey DJ,
I was saying Shelton was the only one to give an excuse that wasn't like a hater fucking excuse, bro.
I got you.
DJ, did you feel that Canelo could win this fight? I felt he could win it. You know what I'm saying? Did you feel that?
I felt he could win it. I picked him to win it. But at the same time, I felt like it would be on like some split decision type shit. But I said before, this was like Canelo's gonna get cut and he's gonna get bruised and beat up in this fight. This ain't gonna be no cakewalk. I felt he'd win like on some split decision shit. But yeah, I felt like he could win this fight. Absolutely.
The official scorecards had him win the first 4 rounds.
That's
crazy.
That's crazy.
And this I picked to win the fight. I didn't think when I was looking at the fight, the only reason I picked him to win the fight is because I didn't think Bivol. Bivol. I didn't think he carried power to knock Canelo out, and so I felt like that at the end of the day he wasn't going to be able to win on the scorecards, and I was wrong about it. The reason I was wrong is because Bivol, I didn't give him enough credit as a boxer. I didn't give him nearly enough credit. The way he dominated that fight is something special. You got to have some people shit on Canelo as much as they want to. Canelo Álvarez can fight, bro. That man can fight. And for the way Bivol was able to come out and to handle that pressure, negate the pressure, and then to put the pressure on, it goes right back into Uncle Shelton's theory of it's the bigger, more skillful guy. And hey, I'm one of those.
That's a deadly combination.
Go ahead. I think we just saw this with Valde. We just saw this a week before with the same goddamn trainer, with the same game plan. It's like he had the exact same game plan for both of them for Valdez that he gave Canelo. He was like, "Yeah, just do this." But I will say this: it doesn't. Like, hold on, right side. You can't interrupt everybody. You can't guide the conversation the way you want it to go. You got to allow people to talk, right side. Come on now. Okay. And also what I'm glad about is we get a boxing reset. We get a reset. When one of these big guys lose, like when Manny Pacquiao lost to Marquez, they had to make the Floyd fight. They had to. They had to make it eventually because it was a boxing reset. Now you can't stand on this side. Now, and then with Canelo losing, we can't even now. They don't get a chance to leverage him against most of the black fighters that they leverage him against. Well, Canelo's going up in weight. Why y'all not doing it? Well, see, what they was doing is using Canelo as a whipping stick, from what I've seen, for black fighters, for PBC fighters, mostly. Even David Benavidez gets some of the Canelo whipping stick. Now that Canelo whipping stick fake ass myth is over. Boxing has reset. Canelo, take your ass to 168, where we gonna see what you're really about. Now you gotta fight Benavidez. Now you're gonna have to probably fight Charlo. Now you gotta go through this gauntlet that we wanted to see you go through, and you can't hide. And now your fans gotta eat humble pie, and we ain't gotta sit around and run around how he's a fucking he's the pound for pound king. No, he's not. He got his ass whooped. Now he falls down the list and he brings his ass back to earth with all the rest of the boxers, and now we get a boxing reset. So I'm happy for the boxing reset. Let's go.
This man preaching. You love to see it. But
the worst thing that ever happened to Alvarez was beating Kovalev. That made him that he was better than he really was.
And that was Kovalev coming off of 2 months, almost getting knocked out by Yardy.
With Anthony Yard after an 10-week layoff and a rehydration.
Yep.
And he was drunk.
Yep.
Uncle Shelton, keep cooking.
No.
Oh, you okay.
No, I'm just saying the dude from the gate, he's 5'7". That shit ain't gonna last forever. You keep moving up, okay? Keep taking your little ass up there. He's 5'7". Dudes walk around at 200 pounds, 6'6'2". He can't whip none of them dudes. Beterbiev knocks him out. Joe Smith probably knocks him out. Zerto Ramirez definitely knocks him out. And you see what Bivol did to him.
Hey, let me ask OG Shelton, let me ask you. You brought up Zerto, man. Zerto got a fight coming up. I believe this weekend or next weekend. It's one or the other. But I think it's next weekend. It's next weekend. But hey, what does Canelo do from here? What does he do? Does he go back down to 68 and
give the fans what they want?
He go back down to 68 and he fight those big fights?
Yep.
He don't have no choice. Where else he gonna go? Disputed 60 and 68. Where's he gonna
Hey,
go?
what better way to make people forget about this loss than beating Benavidez or Charlo?
He can't beat nobody at 75. So he might as well go back to 68. All them dudes.
Well, unfortunately, he's locked into the zone deal. So we got to look at guys over there. Who's over there? It's either going to be one or two
John
fights.
Ryder or
it's either going to be the rematch with Bivol or he's going to go into that Triple G fight because they pretty much done already sold tickets to that fight.
Thank you,
So,
PJ.
Hey,
we're gonna. That fight was. You heard Bivol last night. I'm sorry I missed some plans with Gennady Golovkin.
Hey, that's a pretty
PJ, I
good
wonder if
impression.
Canelo was sorry though that he missed those plans.
For that fight. So he's probably still gonna fight Triple G in September, and then depending on what happens in that, he still wasn't it 3 fights with the zone, right? He still owes them one more fight. The question is, where does Bivol go from here? Does he go to Zordo?
Yeah, no.
Zordo is a tune-up.
I think
What?
Check it out though. I mean, I think at the end of the day, this is a narrative. I heard it somewhere, but it makes total sense. But he didn't want to fight Triple G. He was like, "Fuck the Triple G fight. That's for the fans." Now that kind of works out for everybody.
Yeah, that was Eddie's idea.
Hold on. We'll tap out, but I'm gonna tell y'all something right quick. Zerto knocks Bivol out.
I agree.
Cap.
No, hell.
I gotta watch that Canelo fight before I can say that.
Bivol is probably the best fighter at 175, other than Beterbiev.
Okay.
I thought it was that before he beat Canelo.
The best
I've always thought, like, low key, I didn't know much about Bivol until this week. I'm not gonna lie, but after watching like watching his fights and whatnot, I was like, why the hell is Canelo the favorite? This dude's bigger than him. He's got better boxing skills than him. Like, you put that two together, like, what chance does he have other than the robbery? It's usually, if you're going to give up size to a fighter, you better be more skilled than they are. And, that wasn't the case in this fight, and you saw the results.
Well, hey, thanks, DJ. I gotta y'all remember what I said, man. Zerlo all him do five.
Uncle Shelton.
Uncle Shelton.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm rocking with you just because of what you just got. But yeah, EJ definitely go beat the shit out of Bud, so it's okay though. But I'm rocking with you, Uncle Shelton. I'm rocking with you.
You don't believe that? Your damn self. Bud gonna knock that nigga out.
All right, another night, fellas, another night.
All right, DJ, thanks for having me on, Kyle, man. I'm gonna drop off too, man. Peace.
All right, Bruno, take care of yourself, man.
Right,
I'll see you around, bro.
Peace, brother.
Hero.
All right, right side. Take it easy, man.
Hey, man, bring your ass home, man. I got some. Me and you got some business to talk. I thought with people.
I'd say y'all don't. Right side done crank that up. Anyway, man, yeah, that's that. My question is, where does Bivol go from here, man? Does he sit out and wait for, possibly an undisputed fight at the end of this year?
Man,
could somehow Eddie and Bob get together and not mess this up?
Hell no. They're gonna have to wait for Bob's ass to croak.
Take all the momentum. These guys could take all that momentum from. Excuse me. They could take all that momentum from Beterbiev possibly coming a three belt title holder, and Bivol just coming off the biggest win of his career. Hey. Take that momentum and make a fight out of it. But I think boxing is too full of itself to make that fight happen. That's why I say Bivol will stay over on the zone and matchroom side and fight Zordo Ramirez, who I think is his number one contender, if I'm not mistaken.
DJ,
what's up?
No one knows who Zordo Ramirez is. They don't know him like that. And because of that, that's not the fight we're going to make. Who am I? Man, Bob Arum ain't finna make that fucking fight happen, bro. He not finna make that fight happen.
Oh, you talking about between Bivol and Beterbiev?
Yeah.
Zerdo need to fight what's his name? Flip Hrgovic.
Bruh, Zerdo is hold on.
Zerdo ain't fought nobody his whole career. The nigga got like 50 fights.
Did you just say Hrgovic?
Yes, Flip Hrgovic.
Bro, Hrgovic is a heavyweight, bro. Zerdo ain't campaigning.
Oh, I'm tripping. Not Flip. I'm tripping. I don't know why I was thinking of Flip Hrgovic. I was thinking he was a heavyweight.
No,
I mean a light heavyweight.
So you must be talking about his brother or something.
Hey man,
but
these Eastern European fighters starting to blend in, man.
But this the problem, bro. I believe Zerdo at 75 right now.
Yeah.
Zerdo, he has a fight coming up, I believe, either this weekend or next weekend against some dude I ain't never heard of, Bosel or whoever. Bro, Zerdo got to get in the mix, bro. He got to get in the mix. And my problem is his promoter. His promoter right now is Oscar De La Hoya. We've seen what happened with Munguia. We've seen what happened with Munguia and Charlo because of Oscar De La Hoya. You feel me? And I don't think Oscar De La Hoya just came out and said that the goods, you know what I'm saying, as far as the building champions go, the goods for him is Ryan Garcia. If that's the goods for you, bro, you got a slim to no chance of building champions, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. What the fuck is he talking about? And so at the end of the day, I want to see Zerdo. I think Zerdo is the goods. I think Zerdo can be a champion. You know what I'm saying? At 75. I know I've heard him talk about moving up to a cruiserweight. Man, he need to campaign.
I don't know what y'all niggas seeing him.
Y'all don't like talk to me. You don't like Zerdo?
No, I don't see nothing special. Like he Yeah, all right. What did Floyd say? He a good little fighter.
Man,
No
Zerto,
special effects.
bro, Zerto, who gonna be Zerto at 75, bro?
Beterbiev.
Man, you crazy as hell.
He gonna break that boy. Like Beterbiev, he breaks people. Like he not even allowed to hit people in sparring. That's how hard he hit. He gonna break them.
Right side, you must not be following Better Be too much because that dude is a killer. Like, ain't
I,
nobody beating
Yeah.
that dude right side. No,
I swear to God, I think he made what's his name cry in the ring. What's the dude he just fought?
Marcus Brown, Marcus Brown.
Yeah.
No, Marcus Brown was looking for.
Yeah. He was trying to look for a way out. I don't blame him.
Right. Did y'all not? I was just about to say, did y'all not see that 1,000-mile stare he had when he took that knee? Like, yo, what in the fuck is he hitting me with, man?
and,
Did y'all
and,
not see?
and the
Crazy.
crazy thing was when they had the head clash, Beterbiev got cut, and when the
Yeah.
blood started flowing, Beterbiev, that nigga, he put it on a whole nother level. I just didn't see Marcus Brown being that guy. I don't see him being that guy. You know what I'm saying? My thing is though, Zerto Ramirez, Zerto, bruh, this dude, he carries power. He has good footwork. He has great stars. Man, at 75, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Zerto is gonna be a problem at any of the quote unquote champions, even Bivol, Beterbiev, whoever you want to call, they gonna have a problem with Zerto, bro. Zerto is a problem. He's gonna be a problem.
I've been underwhelmed by bro. Like I don't know. I never seen anything like that made me jump out the seat. But hey, if you say so, we'll see.
I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind being wrong. And if I'm wrong, I come here and spit that. But man, just when you watch Zerto fight, bro, he carry the power he carries at the weight class he's at, and the age, and man, I'm just
Bro,
saying,
Berta Biev, he like, come on, like he don't
bro,
even need to hit you. He don't even need to like get a full wind up to hurt you. Like
that man
these
is
little. Go
he
ahead.
he 37, bro. He 37.
Hey, you know what they say about power? That's
That's
the last thing to go.
that's a lot. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that.
So
And I actually like him to beat Bivol, but I like Zerto to beat all of them. The
yeah,
power,
Bivol better not be on the ropes like he was with Canelo against Berta Biev. I'm telling you right now, that shit ain't not going to end well.
I think.
And yeah,
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's probably the smallest guy at 175 Bivol, right?
Yes. He's
Yeah,
the smaller. He's the smallest champion. Both Joe Smith Jr. and Beterbiev are bigger than him.
yeah.
So,
So
you know,
I'm telling you, don't like Bivol. I mean, he might be able to outmaneuver Beterbiev, like give him some trouble, but I feel like he's gonna catch Bivol eventually and probably hurt him bad. But time will tell.
My problem is that I like Beterbiev. I like him a lot. The problem
Uh-huh.
is when I look at the footwork, when I look at the ring generalship,
Uh-huh.
as far as what Bivol has showed so far, I ain't gonna lie to you. I like Beterbiev, and then after this Canelo fight, bro, as far as what Bivol showed, the man showed many facets. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
He was multifaceted as far as how he performed in this fight. He showed a lot of different things that he can do, and
He didn't look tired at all.
it, if you don't stop him,
Yeah.
and even better, BF outside of the body work, right? And I my problem is I think Canelo has some of the best body work you're gonna see in boxing. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And because of how the fight kind of happened, one thing Beterbiev is really good at is body work. If he can't
Yeah.
get body work in like that, Bivol has a great chance to win that fight. He has a great chance to win that fight. If you can't shrink the ring, if you can't stop his jab, then Bivol is gonna be very effective. He's I don't want to say Shakur. He's
They both have the two best distance like management in the game.
like he has a great way of measuring distance. And one of the things I loved about him is he keeps the jab out there, even when it's not a power jab. It may be a probing jab, it may be an educated jab. It depends on what you're doing as far as how I want my jab to look right now, if that makes sense. And
Mike Tyson, never, let me not say it. Go ahead, bro.
all I'm saying is the way he keeps the jab out there, he keeps it, he probes with it. He can do everything with the jab. It can be stiff, he can probe, it can be throwaway. He can do everything with the jab, you know what I'm saying? And
Complete fighter. Yep, you're right.
when you can do that with a jab, it puts you on you're on a whole nother level. You're on a whole nother level because everybody doesn't have that type of educated jab. And his jab is so educated as far as Bivol goes. I think
I would
that
have understood if the fight was close and they wanted a rematch. Like maybe Canelo could make some adjustments here and there. But like that shit was a wash. Like, what's he gonna do unless like gets a lucky punch, some
So
fraudulent shit goes in the background, like they try to like cheat him out or something. I don't know. They drug this nigga and he comes into the fight a zombie. I don't see how he can win. Like
interesting.
Bivol literally has an edge in everything.
So Dirk, how many rounds did you give Canelo last night? How many rounds did you give him?
Man, I gave that dude like 2 rounds.
And Riot Side gave him 2 rounds. Brandon Washington, my brother, did you see the fight?
Yes, sir. 2 rounds.
How many 2 rounds? God, man, y'all. I was more
Wash.
generous than y'all. I gave him 3. I watched it this morning. I was busy watching that UFC card last night. Then I had the homies hit me up. Hey, yo, Canelo getting his ass beat right now. It's like, stop
Hey, what's
lying.
that dude? That dude that got
Hey, you.
knocked out, Ferguson?
Tony
God
Ferguson.
damn! Why am I watching that?
Hey, he had that 1,000, like what you just said earlier. He had that
A 1,000-mile
1,000-mile
stare.
stare, bro. He
Yeah, we
looked
just stare.
depressed.
Some people call it staring off into space. I call it the 1,000-mile stare.
I don't think he knew where he was.
No, he was
And
asleep,
you know what
man.
else?
Or maybe he did.
You know what I noticed, DJ? Watching the
What's up?
fight, Canelo rich now. Canelo reminded me of. I just kept hearing Marvin Hagler's voice. It's hard to train hard when you're sleeping on silk sheets. That was
You know
Canelo. He
what?
walking around with his. I'm telling you, bro. When you watch that, go back and watch it, DJ. You're gonna be like, yeah, you can see him rethinking his life at certain points where he like, especially when he's in the corner. I was like, Canelo rich now. He's rich. That hunger not there. But go ahead, DJ. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, brother.
You know what, Brandon Washington? I've heard that all day today. I've heard
Mm-hmm.
that all day today. It might not have been the skill. It might not have been it might have been his preparation. Did he really get up and hit the road the same way he was doing when he walked through super middleweight? Yeah, I mean,
Well,
is it the hopping out of Bugattis that's starting to hurt his back? You know what I mean?
well, he not fighting Billy Joe
Real, bro.
Saunders and Callum Smith no more. That's why.
Right. Of course, because I don't really. I think first of all, what's going on, my guy In Shape Street Fighter? What's going on, man?
Oh, what's good, y'all? Yeah, I always sit back and listen a little bit before I just jump on in there, man.
Yes, sir. But
And
yeah,
Shay, what's
man,
going on, my brother?
is it his preparation?
It's
I've
good, baby
heard that
boy.
a
Excuse
lot
me,
today.
DJ. Yeah, it's good.
I disagree with that notion. It's his preparation. I just believe he was outclassed
Absolutely,
and
I'm
outsized.
of that belief. But you gotta, it's just human nature to a lot of people, man. It is.
Yeah.
Why am I in here? I get what Brandon Washington is saying. Because
Hey,
that's part of
yeah,
that's most of the reason why I don't want Wilder to fight anymore. I don't want
yeah.
him to get in there and it be around 7.
so
Be like, hold on, right side, hold on. Get to round 7 or 8, and he was like, "Why in the hell am I in here? What am
Yeah.
I doing?" Pacquiao went through that in his last fight with Ugas. You can see it on his face. What the hell am I doing in here right now?
Yeah.
hey, real quick. Guess what I'm thinking right now.
What, man? We ain't clairvoyant.
No, what the hell am I doing in here right now? That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm out tonight, guys, man. Much love to all y'all. And
All right side.
the hell am I doing in here right? Love y'all, man. And
All right, man. Take care of yourself.
Hey, but
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right side.
Yeah, but sticking to that point real quick, what you just said, you listen to, you know who Breadman is?
The trainer?
Yeah, Stephen Breadman Edwards. He was just talking about that when he was talking about like the hunger of like a 31-year-old and a 24-year-old is completely different. Like, you know, you're more established in life. You know, you probably got kids and a wife. Like a 24-year-old up and coming boxer, like that's why you rarely see fights between 30-some-year-olds and a young 20-year-old. Because the hunger of a 24-year-old, like they're ready to die in the ring, like do whatever it takes to, you know, win. You lose that edge when you get around that age, you know. That's what he was saying. So that might have something to do with it, but I don't think that's what it was. I just think Bivol's too big, too skilled for him.
Absolutely. I just think he ran into his Vernon Forrest last night, and it's going to force him to reevaluate some things.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing. Like I said before, DJ, man, when I first jumped in the game and was talking to everybody on here, and we, you know, getting back into the boxing, and people were talking about Canelo, man. I was just like, dude, you know, I don't want to, you know, it's hard to have a good conversation with some people without just really analyzing what Canelo really was. So when people kept just being so high on him, I'm like, man, y'all, besides the Mayweather stuff, bro, did y'all really don't see what he is? You know, he's like that. People say he's a good fighter. Yeah, he's tough. He has a good chin. You know, he learned a lot after that Mayweather fight, you know, regardless of what people want to say about giving credit. That's one reason why you see him try to display, you know. But one of the reasons why I tell people all the time his upper body movement is so good because his feet are flat and he doesn't have good cardio. You know, if he can wade in on you and use his power, which normally is what happens with a lot of guys, then, you know, sometimes you can kind of not pay attention to what he actually is. But he's never been able to get around a jab. Like when I started watching him initially. And once I started seeing his cardio was suspect, you know, the only thing that helps him is that he can depend on that chin. So if even the people land on him and this and that, he just, you know, everybody, oh, his chin. Yeah, so he's a tough guy, you know, who's a pretty, you know, strong person. But if you move on him and hit him with a jab, he becomes frustrated. That's, you know, with Caleb Plant, man, I was really kind of disappointed with a lot of people when it came to Craig, you know, to Caleb. Caleb did well. You know, he wound up getting caught. His body got broke down, his cardio and everything like that. But, man, he was outboxing him. And most of the time you see Canelo get outboxed. So even though they're saying that this guy was way bigger and they, you know, starting to, you know, and most people we knew they were going to say that after that if he did take a loss, which is what happened. But, bro, he's never showed me anything different. Like he just hadn't, just me as a, you know, like a fight fan. He's always had a problem with the jab. He gets tired, and he kind of depends on his toughness. Well, we know a lot of fighters like that. And not to attack the Latinos, because I can say family, friends, all that. That's one of the things that's always, you know, to be a soldier and this and this and that. But, you know, your career's not going to be long. And if you meet up with a guy who's technical, pretty light on the feet, has good cardio, he's going to beat you every time. That's why Shakur just washed. You know, and people want to have these discussions like they surprised. It's like, no, it's everybody say styles make fights. Well, if you were going to be honest with Canelo, that's one reason why he doesn't fight certain people. It's not about me talking about him ducking or nothing like that. It's just about being successful. He knows there's danger over there. He knows that he's not going to be able to deal with a guy who just keeps putting a stick in his face because he needs to be able to, like I say, wade in and go to the body because he's flat-footed. Anybody that's flat-footed needs to be able to go to the body, needs to have good head movement, but that doesn't necessarily make you a great fighter. You need to be able to adjust with these guys who they consider quote unquote slick. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to come in and just jump all in with all that, but it's never no disrespect to Canelo, but I've always felt like this when I watch him. And it's just weird when you hear people say that, you know, to try to critique a fighter that since I'm a person of quote unquote color, I'm hating on Canelo. It's like, no, you saw tonight what I've always seen, what the other night, excuse me, whenever he's confronted with a jab, and Bivol wasn't even that active. You know, he didn't move a lot and he didn't need to move a lot. See, that's what people don't want to talk about. They were saying, well, if he was more, but he didn't need to move a lot more because he knew that Canelo couldn't cover the distance, that Canelo didn't do well with movers. So I'm going to keep it to a certain. So you saw him get beat by a pretty basic 1 1-2, move, reset, come off the rope, back to the middle of the ring, keep him in front of me. Low, okay, block the body shots, block the, okay, uppercut, and then right back, jab, jab. It was nothing like super fancy that he was doing. And you saw the frustration on his face because when he gets hit that much, it's obvious. There's nothing he can do about it. And I'm going to go back on mute, y'all. I didn't mean to get, I just wanted to come on here.
Oh, no, brother, please continue. Please.
Yeah, for the longest that I've been on here, I've said the same things about Canelo when I first got back on all the platforms. And you always put me, the last thing I put is hashtag no wheels. I don't just mean like he's what people say quicksand. He has no cardio. So hopefully he can get you out of there before his gas tank starts to blink. And if you don't have enough power to keep him honest, then that's what happens. Now he's this great fighter. No. And when they saw it earlier that Mayweather was smaller than him, yes, and Mayweather washed him, man. Like he was older, he was younger. Everybody wants to say, well, he wasn't ready. But at first he was the young tiger trying to take out the old tiger. That's what we always see, a changing of the guard. Where in that case, you just saw a superior boxer. That's it. He just moved on him and hit him with the jab. Whenever he tried to go to the body, I shoulder roll, make him miss a couple of shots, hit him with the right hand, step out of the pocket, reset. And he's going to start getting tired because he doesn't have anything to come back with besides his power and a chin. That's what Canelo is. He's power with a chin, period. That's how I felt about him. And it's not because of his nationality or whatever's going on. And it's just the fact that he was able to pretend like other guys weren't as good. He can call the shots. He's important in boxing, but it still doesn't change who Canelo is as a fighter.
Overrated.
Bells and whistles and, oh my God, we can speak in hyperbole and tell him he's the greatest thing and all that, but the bell is going to ring. He walked out there and Bivol was like, okay, jab, jab, move, jab, jab, frustration, try to body slap me.
Combinations.
Like that. My wife,
his
was
combinations were crisp and they were accurate. And another thing that Bivol did last night, anytime he got backed up to the ropes, he would always pivot, get off the ropes, and bring Canelo back to the center of the ring.
Yes, sir. And he knows that's going to make Canelo tired too, because all I have to do is just move in a circle. He has to walk in a circle. So I just keep pivoting off my front, and that's so smart because he knows Canelo is eventually going to start getting tired. They just going to start hitting his gloves together, bouncing on his toes, taking deep breaths, and then coming towards you and lunging with heavy body shots, and then the left. And like you said, once that's over, what happens? Now the guy's still there. So then you see the frustration come in, and and excuse my bad, Dirk, I didn't mean to speak over you.
Oh, I was just going to say, some of his fans told me that he's going to go up and beat Usyk. He can do anything. He's Superman.
Yeah, I started off this live by saying I'm going at his fans tonight more than anything. Whatever, man went in there, he went in there and took an ass whooping. It is what it is. This is boxing. You win some, you lose some. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, know what I'm saying? But this is more so for his fans that were talking about him fighting at cruiserweight. Now, cruiserweight was truly a situation where it was a win-win. If he goes all the way up and fights at cruiserweight and he loses, he was supposed to lose. But if he wins, he the best thing since canned pussy. You understand what I'm saying? So
they told me he would have beat Roy Jones in his prime. He would have beat Andre Ward. If
Andre would have stopped him. I heard he would have stopped him.
Yep. The Floyd Mayweather, he was too young. If they fought in their prime, which is they're saying his prime is right now, he would have watched Floyd Mayweather, even though their primes are two completely different weight classes, but that's beside the point. All I'm saying is you can still be great and at the same time be overrated, and that to me is Canelo Álvarez.
Yeah, because he's a good fighter, and I always said that good power, like I said, good chin. He needs to be careful with his matchups, which he's been doing. But overall, you're not what you say you are. You're just not. Yeah. There's nothing with believing in yourself and believing in your power, but every time I seen him get in front of any kind of box, especially after Lara, I just kind of stopped watching Canelo. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I watch him here and there because that was another one that was kind of frustrating. And he made it a little grimy. I saw Lara stay on his bicycle a little bit, but it's certain fights that I just watch, and it's always the same. If he has somebody with a nice stiff jab in his face, he looks lost. And if you notice most of the shots that hit him, his head is always going back. His gloves are always coming together in front of him, and he's extending backwards because it's the jab that's always stunning him. He can't see it. The right hand gets him, the uppercut, and this and that. But even when you watch this fight, notice what his body language always going backwards, because that jab he comes, bam, and the jab catches him. And even if it's not like with Devin, people always say no power, no power, no power. But dog, it keeps you honest because you don't see it. It scares you. And eventually you know that if you keep trying to wade forward, like you hear me say, something's going to catch you that you don't see. And you don't want to you can get hurt with the jab because you just don't see it. And you're right when you step, he gets your timing, pop you in your mouth. And it's not necessarily the power. It's just he's going one way, you're coming in, and then you're off balance. And I know that I've seen that with a few guys when they fight Devin. They keep saying he's pillow fisted, but it's not that. It's the fact of the matter that jab is just at different angles. It comes at different heights, and you never expect it. So that's the biggest thing that he keeps you honest with is just his jab. And right hand sometimes stays at home. I was wondering if he's going to use it, because he doesn't have to. He just moves, resets, hits you with a jab about 4 or 5 times. And the guys, their hands go together in front of them, the neck and the head goes back, and they just wondering what the hell just happened. And then they try to get back, and that's when they move out of the way, catch him with something on the in and out, and then get back to the sit in the ring. And they don't know what to do with that because they're trying to save their gas. I can't get hit and chase this guy around. So you start seeing the lunging, like when Valdez did the same thing. And it's funny that right after that, you see Canelo go through that. And Canelo wasn't even with a guy that was his distance was great. His shots were great. His placement, great. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't so powerful or so fast. Like a Shakur. Shakur is he's like cat-like. So he really made Oscar look basic. You know what I mean? And these are guys who are
undefeated. He made Oscar look like you could really tell. Like Oscar is a top of the food chain fighter. PEDs and all, right? Even though he tested positive before his last fight and arguably lost that fight, Oscar is still a top of the food chain super featherweight. I would favor him over probably 98% of the other 130 pounders. I think he could beat the other 2 champions. I think he could beat Gutierrez or even Garcia, and I definitely think he could beat Ogawa. But it's something about Shakur Stevenson that
special.
Shakur Stevenson and somebody else I was going to say.
And then he confuses people with that no wasted movement.
Shakur Stevenson, Cool Boy Steph. I just think they got the glow right now, man.
Steph is another one that does that minimum movement, and people think it's boring, and he doesn't. It's like, no, that's one reason why he doesn't get tired, y'all.
I wish Steph wouldn't try to brawl guys, though.
Makes fights a lot harder than they have to be trying to be entertaining.
Yeah.
I think personally, I think he could have outboxed Angelo Leo easily.
Yeah.
But he stayed in the pocket and decided to beat him with his style. I think he could have outboxed Figueroa easily. But
that was madness. That nigga's too big to be trying to do that.
Man, did you not see how he had Figueroa walking in the uppercuts all night? That's why I couldn't understand what people were seeing. It's like, are y'all not seeing the same fight? He's getting hit with the same shit all night.
They just see a lot of shots, DJ, and they see the guy that they like throwing a lot of shots. They don't pay attention if the shots are landing. And that's what I saw in that fight too. Even if it was close, he was putting on a little bit of a clinic. He was letting you come in, and you was mostly just shoulder, arms, elbow, then catch you, move out, shoulder, arms, elbow. You're doing a lot, but you're not hurting me. You know what I mean? And that's what people didn't really pay attention to in that fight, that he was landing the more effective shots, as they say. You were busy. You were putting your head down. You were grinding against me. I give you respect for that. You got your engine going. You're a tough fighter. You're still there at the end of the fight, but you got hit more. And that's what it is about. It's about getting hit. I mean, about hitting and not getting hit. And that's what happened at the end of the day, like they say, at the end of the day.
And they called
we were talking
crazy
about him,
for
Jalen.
saying.
We said Dev. That's what I brought up Dev earlier with that jab.
Yeah. They called Shakur crazy for saying that he thought if he was the same size as Canelo, he'd beat him. What? They're like, man, you get knocked out by Canelo in 2 rounds. I'm like, okay.
That's
stylistically, he will give.
Canelo will knock you out, but you don't hear people say Canelo outboxed anybody.
Right.
It's always, well, if you can stand up to Canelo's power, like I know when people start a conversation in a certain place, like I tell you all the time, I don't start it there. I say, well, what other attributes does he have? And then they go, well, he's no. I asked you, has he ever done this in the fight? No. He wait you out and then he punishes you. You know what I'm saying? That's
on some serious shit, like no hating shit.
Yeah. So
What
I
attribute does
apologize to
Canelo do
everybody
better
in
than
the chat. I've
anybody in
been
the world?
ignoring the chat tonight. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, yeah, and I see that's why I said something to Jalen because he brought it. But you're right, Dirk. When I say attributes from each fighter, like I look at you if I'm going to pick you on a video game, you know.
Yeah.
But he has a good jab. He has 86%. You know, he has good cardio. You know, you look at those things, and that's why I said what I said about Canelo. Oh, he's a good fighter. I've never said a great fighter because I know how to beat him. If I stay away from him and pop him, like I said, easily with the jab, and I don't want to disrespect him, but it was just like, man, Mayweather just laid it down and let y'all see what it is. And I ain't no super Mayweather fan, but it's just you got to respect real boxing. And it was embarrassing. And for him, I know it scarred him because, like I tell everybody, you got to keep coming out in every bell. He hadn't knocked you out and he hadn't hurt you, but he's just not there. And then he hits you, and then he's not there. Yeah, after a while, you just kind of feel like you a speed bag or a punching bag in there. That's it. He's just basically just working out on you, but he's getting paid for it instead of just being in the gym hitting the heavy bag. I know that feeling, like he's just not there. And I know the frustration. He did the same thing with Bivol. The one thing I saw, like I said, is that he just gets frustrated, period. You know? And like I said, no attributes, excuse me, Dirk, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't pick him because I know with certain fighters, I wouldn't be able to keep up with him. That's the first thing I noticed is that he's good for getting in on people that can't fight going backwards and all that, which is another reason why he doesn't fight the slick style, because they'll jab you and be moving backwards. You know what I'm saying? Right. He needs somebody that has to stop, put up their guard, and then wait to see what he's finna throw. And if you're a counterpuncher, a lot of times he's gonna make you pay for that too. You know,
right? That's why I prefer.
That's first. Yeah, and
I prefer my fighters. I prefer my fighters to be more complete. Like they can make adjustments on the fly if they need to. Like, you know, if one thing is not working, they can go to something else. Like I just feel like Canelo's limited. And
excuse me, Dirk, right quick. Y'all said he ran 12 rounds, so he couldn't cut the ring off for 12 rounds. I just get tired of that when people try to say that people are running. If I'm running, then you won't have scars on your face at the end of the fight. That means that at no time did I try to counter you. I didn't do well about trying to clinch at certain times I need to. If you cannot stop my movement, I am not going to change the way I fight to make it exciting or make you comfortable, to make it competitive. If I can wash you, you're going to get washed. I'm not going to make it competitive by taking away one of my attributes because you can't catch me, you know, because cutting off the ring is the first thing they normally teach you.
Yes. Why don't you just sit right there so I can hit you?
Yeah, that's all kind of cold for me at times with some people. It's like, man, don't do that. You know, I'm not saying, and at times you do see guys run, but he wasn't running. You know, he's just, I'm known for, I'm a move and I'm a clipping. You know, and that's what I'm saying, Tino. I was just going to say, and he landed way more in that fight than Canelo did because Canelo kept missing. That's the big thing. I made you miss and I made you pay.
Absolutely. You get some guys in shape that they don't want to see a boxing match. They want to see a fight. You understand what I'm saying? Like we tune in to see boxing matches. Some guys just want to see fights. And that whole let's stay in the pocket and beat the shit out of each other, that's not how everybody fights, man. Some people are going to stay on the end of that jab and use their combinations. Nobody wants to stand there and get beat on for 12 rounds just for the sake of entertainment. Some people do. But
they want a Gotti Ward.
Yeah, and I know they might reflect what they believe and how they fight, but everybody doesn't fight like you.
Yeah, your favorite fighter ain't gonna have a long career fighting like that.
Oh, excuse me, my boss. Yeah, my bad.
And that was gonna be my next point. I guarantee your favorite fighter gonna have less than 40 fights.
Yeah.
Like personally, I don't think Errol Spence is gonna make it to 40 fights.
You think so? No, but Earl has fundamentals.
No, it's not about his fundamentals. It's the time with the injuries that's been taken off of his career. And you also look at it, I think his next two fights are going to be Crawford, and then he's going to move up to 54. I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it to 40 fights. I really don't. Where's he at now? 28?
So that's 31. Oh, you talking about the fights? Yeah, he's at 28 fights.
I'm not talking about his age. See, everybody, to me, I look at the amount of fights. I look at the mileage. I don't look at somebody's age. Yeah. Like everybody's saying Jaime Munguia is Oh, he's only
40 fights in.
Yeah, he's only 24, 25 years old, man. He's got time. No, bro, he's got 40 fights.
Yeah, DJ. I keep telling you what I always say, DJ. They think it's a video game. You just hit reset and you're good. They don't think that you're actually not a real human and you take wear and tear. And sometimes certain fights take something out of you. Yeah.
Boots got 28 fights.
Boots is 24.
Yeah.
24.
I think he can get a 50.
And he's already got 28 fights.
Yeah. And it's also, like I said, are you a brawling type fighter? Are you slick? Do you win on the cards? Do you stop people? All that is important. How much damage do you take? And a lot of boxers don't take damage because their whole game plan is on hitting and not getting hit. So you have a longer career, but boring or not, And Floyd, he still speaks well as Floyd can speak, no disrespect, but you know what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he's still good, though. That's the biggest thing. And, some guys, when you see him on the
all
news
his faculties about himself.
Yeah, so
I made a lot of smart investments.
Yeah, and right now he said that you like to see a fight. Yes, I like to see it devolve. That means that all of a sudden you cut Mayweather off, you stop him, and now he has to make an adjustment because he's so used to being a slicker, faster fighter. That's when fights get exciting to me. But I'm not just gonna stop because you're Canelo or stop because somebody paid me, or I'm starting to see I'm getting the best of you now, Canelo. Let me back up a little bit because they paid me, like some people were saying. Because sometimes you see weird things going in his fight. It's like, okay, you clearly got this guy hurt and tired. Why are you not swinging on him? And it's just weird to see it in there. And then the announcers will start talking about something else and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, everybody's seeing what's going on. And I know a few people felt that way when they saw Bivol doing it a little bit. But I also think Bivol was like, nah, you're not luring me into nothing. Let me make sure let me just be careful just in case you're trying to get me to come over there. You know what I mean? Because if you appear to be hurt, then I'm going to close the distance to come finish you. And that'll be time for you to catch me. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm talking about Moon Knight, y'all. I understand what you're saying, but that's what makes the fight
Moon Knight
exciting.
A troll, man. I'm just letting him go.
I understand
letting him go. He keeping everybody engaged in the chat.
I know,
That's why I'm letting him go. That's not him blocking.
But hey, he legitimately saying some of the regular stuff you see on all these other channels, which I'm cool with because they've all been answered, which makes me maybe he's not informed. I'm letting him trying to keep his same formula to be what he quote unquote thinks is going to be successful. But the thing is, like, that's what makes a fight. When I can take away your attributes. You're known as a power puncher. Well, I'm going to make sure that your power is not effective with me. If you're known for being a quick, slick fighter, then I'm going to cut you off and be in your face most of the time. So my cardio is going to be together. You might think that your wheels are going to run me down, but then I don't. Oh, 7th, 8th round, now we got to fight. When people say, oh, we got to fight now. Yeah, because you're going to start seeing what people are made of when what they do best is taken away. That's why we always say, has he fought the best? Has he ever been challenged? DJ just said it. How many fights have you had? Because in real world, we know that in some of them fights, you took a battle. You were beat on. You know what I'm saying? We want to know what you look like.
Right.
And once you test the product, then they're going to keep purchasing the product. I never really trusted Canelo. And Canelo did exactly last night what I thought he would do, but night before that now. That a jab and a little movement would just leave him frustrated, and it did.
Oh, no, man.
Caleb Plant, right? Caleb Plant, in my opinion, was winning that fight until he wasn't.
That's why he was so mad after the fight.
He was winning that fight until he wasn't. Now,
man,
you get a lot of people saying, oh, it was this way, it was that way. The judges saw it this way. Listen, I saw Caleb Plant jabbing his face off.
Yes, sir.
For 8-9 rounds of that fight until finally them body shots caught up to him. Mm-hmm. Because every time Caleb Plant would jab him, Canelo would sneak that right hook to the body in there. That was his counter to it, and that was a beautiful game plan. But I saw Caleb Plant have success with jabbing and footwork. I saw Billy Joe, as much as I hate Billy Joe. Well, I don't hate him. I'm just not.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Billy Joe because
ain't no nothing. Don't apologize. He's a shit human being.
Yeah. It was 4-4 going into that 9th round. Until what was it? I think I had it an even fight going into that last round before he got knocked out. And it seemed like his idea of defense was just keep dipping to the same side. It's like, well, Canelo's gonna see that, and boom, lights out. Broke his face. So, I mean, we've seen it in his last couple fights that people who, even going back to Floyd and Lara, which everybody like to point out, nothing about him and his style has changed. He's just fighting fighters that he feels like he can take advantage of, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I stopped arguing with Canelo fans a long time ago. Like I'll point out certain stuff and why don't this person do this? Why don't this person do that?
Hey, I said I wasn't gonna speak up, DJ, until he took a loss. I was gonna see if they were gonna be fair, whenever, because like you said, I keep bringing up Caleb and wasn't even a super Caleb fan. It's just, man, get a fight as they just do, man. He was making Canelo look basic, bro. Again, I say here we go with the jab, because of course I was rooting for Caleb. I thought Caleb had him, like you said, until he didn't. And that's what I'm talking about, the wear and tear of the fight. He was hoping eventually he could chop that tree down, because them jabs, it was just too much, and everybody sees it. Everybody may fight you in the future. They see,
Caleb has all the intangibles, man.
Yeah. Okay, so a little jab is going to look his face,
now,
man. He's
personally, I still think Beterbiev is the best fighter in that division.
Yep.
But Caleb held his own. Now, I didn't like how he was asking him, man, hey, I'm pretty good, huh? Like, no, fuck that. I'm trying to take your head off in here, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my respect. I'm not gonna ask for it. I'm gonna take my respect in here. But
David will overwhelm Caleb Plant eventually and get him out of there, in my opinion. I feel like Benavidez, he would break him down. And the reason why I think Benavidez will beat Canelo is one word: volume.
Yeah. Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he'll be able to move enough in the beginning of the fight, even though he does kind of stand there, cross block, and get in and put that shoulder against you. And that's what, Benavidez like to do. I know he'll be intelligent enough to know that he'll have to see if he can deal with the power, which, he can take shots. We've seen that, because that's part of his defense. Some people, they just take shots. They don't move.
Yeah, he uses his chin for defense.
Yeah, exactly.
He's all offense, man.
He's a dog. But you guys just said it. Canelo likes to get on inside and bully people. Well, this is going to be one of them guys that you gonna meet your match type of shit, and we're gonna see who got a bigger dog.
The ring and put our foot in it, huh, Dirk? Yeah,
right. And this is why a lot of people want to see this fight, because Benavidez is one of the guys, and I said this months ago. Benavidez is one of the guys who's gonna make Canelo throw more than he wants to throw.
Yes, sir.
Because he's gonna put out so much volume, and he has such a great gas tank that he can do that for 12 rounds. He has a great shoe shine. He is going to put the pressure. He's going to put Canelo on his back foot. And even if he doesn't, he's going to stay right there in the pocket with him, and he's going to fight him. He's not going to box him. He's not going to stay on the end of the jab. He is going to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
When's the last time we've seen anybody actually fight him?
Yep. People could have got him out of there. Everybody on this panel, we know in reality, like I said, he just kind of stepped
Triple
back.
G, and that God knows I have no love for Triple G on this earth. But Triple G fought him that first fight, and in my opinion, he beat him. He beat him. So it's just, man, we're gonna see what happens, man. Callum Smith, and another reason why I don't say that Bivol was too big for him. How big is Callum Smith right now?
Tell him, DJ. And he's a 6'footer, 6'1", and then
Callum Smith,
Callum Smith taller than that.
Callum Smith like 6'3", 6'4".
And once you see him against a person that size, you can't pretend like you haven't seen Canelo fight somebody the same size or bigger in reality. And then they said that he came in at 183. So that means that when this man hydrated, speaking of Bivol, he didn't even come in much bigger than what he was already cutting to be. So stop all that. Some people,
they don't want to admit somebody's better than Canelo.
Guy too. You can just look at him and see he's not the type to carry a lot of weight. He just has that kind of frame. He's more of a narrow type. So even with that, Canelo was stronger than this as far as like thicker, but he just, like they said, it's weight class for a reason. And he was able to negate some of that power because he kept his arms tight. He got caught with a couple of uppercuts. But like we all saw, he's like, oh, okay. That had a little mustard on it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna keep letting you hit me like that. But I feel like I can go through a couple of those and still make you have to bow down to what I got going on. And that's what happened. He felt it here and there, like everybody was explaining, and realized, damn, you do hit hard, but it's not something I've never seen before. So let me go ahead and put this easy work on you right quick. And that's what it looked like. I showed my wife the crowd. I said, look at the crowd. I mean, they were sitting down. Like people weren't even standing at all. And you don't see that quite often, but you know what I mean? It is one of those things when everybody has this idea of what they believe in. Like they say they drinking the Kool-Aid, but it's gonna be that minor few of us who go like, man, I'm telling you, if somebody doesn't take the money, or if somebody just is really like, because come on, they broke it down so good on the other show, man. I don't want to keep dropping shows, but yeah, the fact that he had to come in like he wasn't the champ, man. You know what I'm saying? Canelo did all this. It's like, all right, yeah, that would irritate you and give you a little more fuel to want to fight this man too. Because it's like, come on.
Right. I'm the champ, but I got to come in first.
Man, it was a bit much. And I'm glad that certain people broke it down and said what they said, because,
Hey,
you really
Canelo
are
is
that,
human.
you're just that, but you're not that. That's why people seem like they're a little irritated by it. You're
All that
not
ass
that.
kissing, he's starting to believe the hype.
Yeah.
Everybody, Canelo, you're the greatest. Nobody can beat you. You're unbeatable. Like, I mean, as a
just don't
human
want
being,
that
eventually
real.
you're
I
gonna
don't
start
want
believing
that.
that shit.
Yeah, nobody wants to buy fake diamonds, fake gold, whatever. It looks good. And I said it before, when you drop two guys in the pit and they bet you, and they said that, well, if your guy loses, you lose with him. And you know what they mean. A lot of guys not going to pick Canelo. They're going to go ahead and pick Mayweather. They're not going to say it out loud, but they're going to pick Mayweather because they know they want to go home.
Today? They said
you know what I'm saying? I've said that, and now I've asked so many people that little, well, what would you do if your life depended on it? Jokingly, it's extreme, but to really, because even in your mind, if you answer it a certain way, in your mind what you're thinking. Like, man, I'm gonna pick that. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Mayweather because I want to go home. You know what I'm saying? I seen what he did 12 rounds.
Yeah, they told me. They said, well, Floyd never went up to 175.
You see, when they start trying to make it like what a guy didn't do to try to make it. I mean, what a guy didn't do to try to make an excuse by someone couldn't do. Excuse me. So since he couldn't do something, now you're saying that his opponent wouldn't do something. Well, I love these arguments on YouTube now. That's why I tend to just kind of chill out. You know what I'm saying? Because some guys, they believe so strongly with their hearts, and we've all been like that. He looks like you. He comes from where you come from. But you got to know when something's really the goods. That's why BFTB and all that, he might be extreme, but I always like the fact of the matter that he's honest about stuff. That I genuinely, because I'm not going to say I wasn't hurt when Deontay lost. I'm not going to tell nobody no story about that at all. I don't even.
Man, why we bringing up old shit?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, DJ. See, I don't even bring it up. And I don't, and I became a super Wilder fan in the last 6 years, really. Yeah. So, but the thing is, hey, it was a lot of other stuff that went on with that. But,
that build up to that last fight was so draining, man. I was just by the time the fight, I was just glad it was over.
But you're right about that, Rob G. Grandma used to say that when he say entertainer clown, and they said be careful when you argue with a fool because the people on the outside can't tell which is which. Rob G. Phil, so I feel you,
Hey, I got a question for the both of y'all.
Yes, sir.
Out of all of these young guys, who do you think is the next one? Like, who will be like the one to carry the mantle? I got an idea, but I don't know what your answer.
Right now, Shakur Stevenson.
Okay.
Right, Shakur Stevenson and Boots Ennis, I think, are the two that could really carry this shit going into the next generation. And I like Dev. I really do. I really like Dev. But it's something. Devin is a great boxer, right? He's a great fighter. But whatever people talk about that it factor, whatever it is, Shakur has it.
Yeah.
I don't think Dev has it. He's a great fighter, great boxer, tremendous talent. I just don't think he has it. Like when he gets on the mic, for example, when he does his press conference, right? And he's selling his fights, it's all very monotone. He's like, he's a tremendous fighter. I'm gonna come in here, I'm just gonna show people why I'm the best, and it's just, he's sure of himself, he's confident, but it ain't like when, man, this motherfucker can't fuck with me, man. It ain't like when Shakur get up there, like he's like, it's a code you gotta crack. It's a code you gotta crack. You can't beat me. I felt like he was ducking me. Stay off the PEDs. Like whatever it is, Shakur has it. And I think Boots Ennis has that same shit too. He's starting to come out of his shell as well.
Yep. I agree completely. I believe Jerron Ennis and Shakur Stevenson are generational talents. Like just like you said, like Dev and the rest of those guys, like they're gonna be good fighters. They might even be Hall of Famers, but there's always that one guy that comes like every 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's Boots and Shakur Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a Devin fan. I mean, I think I made that. And one of the reasons why I'm such a Devin fan is just like with Deontay. When I sit back and watch how many people hate you, just like I told you, I found out about the LDBC through hate. So I don't want to always use it, but I understand what it is, So everybody likes a lot of stuff. And they said the larger your circle, you know how more fake you are, the smaller your circle. Yeah. So when I see certain people and certain types of people that I kind of look towards for, to be rightly guided, it's a lot of those folks that were following those types of fighters. And with Devin, it's just, I don't even understand it, y'all. The amount of time and amount of lies and amount of just so much disinformation behind a guy who hadn't even made 25 yet. You feel me? Like I little stuff like that makes me go, well, let me just start watching this youngster, because I can talk about when they say, oh, lack of power and his chin. They started talking about everything, but it's like when you take so much time and effort to discredit somebody, it's going to make me pay attention to them. And that's what it is about Devin. And I think a lot of people, and it's nothing against, because I'm a Shakur fan. And let's not forget about Tank, because I don't like when people say Tank can't box. Boy, stop.
Yeah, See, I think a lot of people found that out his last fight when his biggest weapon was taken away via that injury, and he still won that fight 8-4, in my opinion, with one hand. So even with Tank, like I've been to one of Tank's fights, people love Tank. Like when I say Tank got the streets, Tank got the streets. It don't matter. You look at who was at Tank now, albeit it was in Atlanta. But you look at who was in these fights for Tank. You got rappers, you got ball players, you got all the scammers and the strippers, and I'm serious.
My bad, let me go on mute. I keep forgetting to mute, DJ. Like,
no, you good. You had the scammers and the strippers, and everybody was at Tank's fight. It was an event, and I was just looking around. I was like, damn, Tank really got the streets.
And I'm gonna second that right quick, DJ, because I done worked in certain facilities, and sometimes some of the kids that we work around, they not what they consider the nice kids. They can't name one person from any other organization, UFC, any boxing, but most of them knew who Tank was. Like they got excited. Who was Tank fighting? Man, I don't want to miss. I don't want to. And it tripped me out. They knew, and they'll come by you. Hey, you shoot fight. You know such fighting tonight. And I'm like, I never really heard y'all talking about fighting, man. But we mess with Tank, man. I say, damn, boy, Tank really is like popular when these cats know. Like that tripped me out that he was that well known. No, DJ,
yeah, man. I'm telling you, when I say Tank got the streets, man, I mean that, though. Like, it's a real thing. But even Tank, he kind of, half crazy, so so you never know what you gonna get from him. He might be chilled, and it might be some nights he'll go off on you.
Yeah, he just.
That's why I say
that's when you get battle tested. You get a little bumps and bruises, DJ. So you might.
right. So it's, man, Tank. I like Tank. I really do. But when we talk about this next 10 years thing, Shakur, man, I just think the kid's got the glow. He's got the goods. And I think he's going to easily be a 3-division champion, maybe even a 4-division champion. I can see him going all the way up to welterweight.
Oh, yeah, because he's not going to take a lot of damage, DJ. That's one of the reasons why I say what I say. And
Absolutely.
Just like him and Devin, they always bring up them not losing rounds. Don't forget about that, DJ. They don't even lose rounds, really.
Absolutely.
So that's not an appealing fight to a lot of people either with Shakur. And he's going to always be able to go to the club after he beats you up. Let me just say that.
Yep.
There's nothing more frustrating than getting your ass whooped and you can't get your lick back.
Can't get your lick back. Oh, DJ.
Hey.
Oh, because you saw that's what, like I said, back to Canelo. He was trying to do that here and there with your guy, but yeah, he had to slow his roll a little bit because he was trying to play that get back. And you notice how Bivol would leap on him, like they were saying in between. And I kept telling him, I said, you see this right here? Like, the moment he gets his shots off and then he steps back, Bivol was right in his chest, And then my bad, Taylor Paul, like I say, he got the pause.
Yeah.
What did I say? I don't even know what I said.
Absolutely. And this is why I believe these two are going to fight. Well, no, they're not going to fight right now because I think Dev is going to beat Kambosos twice. He's going to move up, fight for one of those belts. And then when he moves up, Shakur's gonna move up. I think Shakur should take one more fight at 130.
Let them make their money, right, DJ? Stop trying to make them fight each other already. Let them do what they got to do where they at, man. That's what I'm saying too. Like, we don't want to always have that canceling out of some of these great, up and coming little young fighters, man. Let them do what they got to do. Okay, Taylor, my bad. He say get your lick back. I knew it was something. He put that pause button up there. I'm an old head, Taylor.
Man, I don't even be thinking about stuff like that, man.
So I got to hit him with the pause. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I'll remember that next time. That's fundamental on the panel.
You can't get your lick back.
Because I said that you be trying to get your lick back, and I'm an old head. You know how we say,
Right.
Hey,
because like in school, you used to get licks, like they say. They give you licks when you get corporal punishment.
They didn't say quit hitting each other. Your grandmama used to say quit passing licks.
Yeah, quit passing licks. That's how you know your country. Look, Taylor, right?
Hey, but the difference between Dev, Shakur, and then Boots is, I believe Boots might have more star quality than both of them because he's a more like spectacular fighter, if that makes any sense. He's got more pizzazz.
Yeah. I don't know what I mean. Like special too easily, but he is special. Yeah, he's special.
Yeah. I don't like using that word or generational. I don't like using those words either. But hey, man, I got called like I see it. Like,
he is
power in both hands.
I agree with you is what I'm saying. Yeah, when I actually started watching him, he's. When I always say there's danger over there. You hear me say that and that's what it is with him. Guys see him and be like, "Oh, Jerome, no, we're good. We're gonna go ahead now."
Yeah, like his ceiling to me is even higher than Shakur. Like. Because he really has he has everything you need, like physically, as a fighter.
And he's a lot stronger than what I thought at first too. He's way stronger than I gave him credit for at first. I knew he was strong, but I didn't know he was that strong, man. Like,
he still has some things to work out. Like, he does get hit more than he should, like in the pocket. But he has the frame to go up to 168 easily. Like. He's a big ass welterweight.
Yep, and he's probably still got another 2 years in this division.
Yeah, I want to see him fight Keith Thurman. Like, Keith Thurman, you're not fighting Crawford Spence. You got to get in the back of the line, buddy.
Man, who do y'all think he really gonna fight? Like, honestly, y'all think he's gonna fight somebody?
According to my guy L Dub, they trying to push Keith Thurman on Bud as part of that deal to come over with PBC. So
Bud done spoke on that. He don't want. He want to go straight to Spence.
Nobody want to fight Keith Thurman, man. Because when Keith Thurman had the power, he didn't want to fight nobody.
Right.
Or he was always out injured. So the last thing that we need to happen is Keith Thurman to get a belt and go hide for 2 years.
On vacation.
Because he looked
decent. But if you pay him,
he looked all right in his last fight. It wasn't nothing spectacular, but he's been off since Smiley was a puppy.
He beat a guy he should have beat.
Yeah.
He beat a guy he should have beat.
Man, he could knock out a nigga that a 135-pounder knocked out. But
I knew he was gonna come back. But I'm just saying, as far as him against somebody, because like who said it? He's Barrios. You know how she said it. He's still a decent fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's a decent fighter.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say that he was just somebody to be washed. He tried to do a little something, and he gave him a problem, and he hit him to that body. He still said there was still the Keith Thurman that we know, though, because boy, he got on that skateboard and his bicycle when they clipped that body a couple of times. It's like, we see certain things haven't changed though, because it was
the only way. He know that too. The only way you gonna get him in the ring with Boots is if you give him the kind of money you would give him to fight a Spence or a Crawford.
Yeah. Because I still don't know what's going. I'm not sure him yet, y'all. I just because I was a one-time fan. I like him. It's certain names that people when you hear him, they draw back certain fights in my mind. So I remember certain fights with him. But once he started doing that with the arrow stuff, that got real weird, man. And now, like they say, the shoe is on the other foot. It's him not being at least honest about it. He acting like I don't know why that boy. I was like, come on, Keith. You need to stop turning that in your back, man. Like, just pull a knife out, man, and just say what it is. You don't need to say, oh, I was afraid of him. But you can kind of, keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? And without just telling all your business. And that's another reason why people starting to be like, okay, Keith, whatever, man. Yeah. Yada, yada, yada. You still saying the same stuff, speaking in circles. getting your Don King on, because I really enjoy watching him fight. But yeah,
oh yeah, he can cut a promo with the best of them. I give him that.
Yes, he
You
can.
know, he can cut he can cut one of the best WWE style promos out. You know that's out here. But my only problem is I'm not like Kyle. I ain't got this venom for Keith Thurman. My problem with Keith Thurman is his inactivity.
Yeah,
Keith once a year Thurman.
Keith Thurman fights probably once every 18 months, man.
So you think something really wrong with him? See, I was thinking that maybe it was just injuries, because he talked about this and he talked about that. Do you think it was a little bit more than maybe he was letting on to? Like some of these injuries.
Fine ass wife of his. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No. It was. I really believe it was just the injuries.
Yeah.
And because he's shown us he'll fight the best guys in the division. But what lost me is when Floyd told Canelo, go fight Austin Trout, beat him, and I'll give you the fight. What did Canelo do? He went and beat Austin Trout, and he got the fight. Floyd told Keith Thurman, go beat Errol Spence, and I'll give you the fight. Then he started copping all them pleas. All the young boy ain't done enough. He ain't got no belt. What is he proving? He need to do some more. It's like, no. Keith. Errol only had, 12, 13 fights at that time? Go fight him. If he ain't done enough, I'm going to go tap his ass now before he figure it out. And this is the same thing I said about Errol and Bud last year. It's like, y'all better fight Boots now before he figure this out.
Yeah, and Boots ain't never had to make no lifestyle change. Like I said, I cut still super strong for Mr. EJ. I would never back, I'm not trying to slander him, but yeah, he had a different lifestyle then too. So it's going to be even harder for you to beat him now. As far as I'm talking about with your boy one time. Yeah. Like you said, he was younger, he was less experienced, and he still was kind of doing this thing that we didn't see behind the scenes. But yeah, he's a whole different animal right now. Plus, he's a little more seasoned.
All he posts on Twitter is him working out.
Looking like a machine,
every single day. Yeah. Like
Boots is 24 years old. I don't know what his, I don't really care what his relationship status is. I don't know if he got kids, none of that. Whenever I see him, he's in the gym. He's either at a fight or he's in the gym. His life is boxing right now.
Yeah.
That's
a hard man to beat. And all that talent plus the work ethic, crazy.
Hey, Moon Knight, man, you need to get up with Big Dog Willie, boy. Y'all two can go at it. I'm talking about Moon Knight. Him and Big Dog Willie.
Yeah.
That's what also keeps his technique so sharp. He ain't learning no bad habits because he's still teaching the fundamentals.
And that's one thing I will give Canelo respect for, and I think Boots is doing a similar thing. He stays active in terms like fights per year. Like, Canelo fights like at least 4 times a year, so he stays sharp. You fighting? Right. I don't think you can stay sharp fight only twice a year, in my opinion.
Yeah, because he's still getting concerned about getting hit. Even though he might feel like these are cakewalk fights, as he learned, I'm gonna keep going back. He learned here recently, anything can really happen in boxing, like they say.
Yeah.
And if he would have been stopped, bruh, I can only imagine what the internet would be saying right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bivol would have stopped Canelo, man.
Yeah,
he'd be a meme.
Yeah.
You know how that go.
And is it true they really booed him,
y'all?
Did his fans boo him seriously?
I'm not sure if they were booing him or they were booing the decision, but who knows?
Yeah, because I know who was that Big Baby, I think on his, they were showing certain clips from different places. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, man, that'll show you how the real really is. As long as you win and they love you.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they were booing the decision. I think you had some people in that arena who actually believe he won. But even then, but you can't say that because last week you had people booing Shakur after he clearly won that fight.
Well, that's Las Vegas. Like that's
what the fight was last night.
And what rounds did y'all give Canelo? Because I heard y'all saying it. Because I gave him like 2, maybe 3 that he kind of, and I think it was the 3rd.
I gave him 1, 4, and 9. That's it.
So I think it was damn, what did I say? I said 3, and I think it was later in the fight, maybe. That he kind of, because he spooked Bivol a little bit. I could tell he clipped him. And I think Black Fight Fan brought that up too. I was like, I saw a couple of times that something whizzed by Bivol's eyes, and he's like, okay, let me make sure. You know what I mean? I remember I'm in the fight and stick with the basics because he got a little caught up in it too, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
But after he got clipped, after Bivol
Moon
got
Knight, you a
clipped in
trip. He
that
ain't getting no
fourth round,
5 rounds. He say 5 rounds, y'all.
after Bivol got clipped in that fourth round, he came out in that fifth round and turned it up on Canelo a little bit.
He been hit by harder people. Let's keep it a buck. Joe Smith hits harder than Canelo.
Mm,
Joe Smith hit hard as a bitch.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You see how he knocked my guy B Hop out the ring, man. I was like, man, come on, man, get my man out the dirt.
Hey, man.
What about some of
Sometimes
them
if
undercard
they don't want to
fights? Y'all
retire, you
niggas
got to
seen
retire.
He knocked somebody else out the ring too.
Yeah, Joe Smith can crack.
Yeah, Joe Smith can crack, man. Even though, like I said, I think he lost to Maxim Vlasov. I still think he lost that fight last year.
He's a limited fighter, but that power could take you a long way.
Right.
What about your boy Montana Love? What y'all think about that? Because that's about the only other fight I think I saw on that card.
Yo,
I like Montana Love.
that fight got a little dicey last night for Montana Love. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
He has a long way to go. I would put him in there with nobody in the top 5 right now.
Damn.
I definitely wouldn't put him in there with a champion right now.
Yeah, and you see how he was laughing. He giggled, and I giggled too. You know why? Because the same shot I dropped you with, you dropped me with the same shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They both got clipped on top of their heads like with a check hook, and that's what happened to him. And I was like, wow. And you saw him look like, okay, touche.
yeah. That's what I was like. All right, you got me.
Hey, Taylor Baird, he made
that
me start
check left
looking at
hook.
him different. Look, Taylor Baird said he is not good in all caps. He just seemed like he was real spook after he got clipped. Like it changed a little bit. He wasn't as cocky like he was at first.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay, this guy ain't here for, like we say in football, they ain't just showing up for a t-shirt.
What about Mark Castro? What do y'all think of him?
I hadn't seen him fight.
Yeah, and that's one of the guys that was on the card there because I was kind of in between that.
Yeah, I didn't see that whole card.
I got
like
heartbroken
I was
when
watching,
Rose lost, so yeah.
Underwhelming.
Like I said, I was watching UFC and I tuned in around the 9th round last night. I had to come back this morning and watch the Canelo and Bivol fight. I
was
tuned
trying
in
to watch
around the
both,
9th
DJ.
round last night because I was too busy watching UFC, man.
Yeah,
I was trying to see how my boy Chaos was gonna do too. You know, certain people I really wanted to see on the card.
Rude Boy Brown is a problem.
Yes, he is.
Man,
I already said he was. That's why I wanted to see what Chaos was gonna look like
that was
against
a hard
him,
fight
DJ.
to score.
Yeah, I've been saying that to my wife. It's like he's one of those taller guys though who knows how to put a little sting in his shots. You know, sometimes they just dance around and he's not scared to stay in that pocket. I wanted to see what he's gonna look like against Chaos. So he's got my stamp of approval for real now. When I heard those two were finna go at it, DJ, I was like, ooh, yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my fight of the night candidate. Moon Knight, me and you finally agree on something. Hey, listen, pack 2 lunches when you come to fight Charles Oliveira. Pack 2 lunches, son.
Oh, that's that Brazilian dude, huh?
Yeah, man. Hey, his hands work now.
Yeah.
His hands has finally caught up with his grappling. If he gets your back, it's over. Just go ahead and tap.
And you know, when you saw little flashes of it early in his career when he would hit people, I said, man, if he ever gets his boxing down, he's gonna be a problem. And he got them hands together.
What his problem was early in his career in shape street fighter, he was cutting too much weight. Remember he started out his career at 145.
Yeah, and I hate they call him a quitter, but I was like, yeah, he's draining his brain. Like, yeah.
Hey, Khabib has leverage. He can be like, hey, Dana, you want me to come out of retirement? You got to pay me $3 million a fight.
Khabib ain't coming back. He promised his mother that he wasn't gonna take no more fights after his father died.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard considering
he had already signed a contract to fight Justin Gaethje. So that was going to be his last fight. That turned out to be his last fight. Yeah. He was like, yeah, I'm not doing this without my dad. Because his dad died, I think, early. I think it was early last year when his dad
died. The corona, it was like height of COVID type stuff. Yeah, he was one of the ones. Because he was battling for a while, DJ, remember?
Yeah, his dad was real sick for a long time. He couldn't travel to some of his fights.
Yeah.
And you know how they say chimpanzees have like the strength of like 5 men or something like that, the equivalent?
Mm-hmm.
That's low-key how Khabib's body is built. That motherfucker's just strong as shit.
Just living in the
mountains, he don't get tired.
A good life. He never drank, never smoked. That's why I say he's a Muslim. He's raised straight up traditional. You can see how he is, and there's a lot of stuff that he's just never done. You know, I work with a lot of different, Muslims and stuff like that, and you'll see them. They look like they may be 40, they be 65, 70 years old because they don't have the American diet. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't eat like we eat. You know what I mean? It's decadent in America. I told you, even people out here who homeless be overweight. So, It's not to make light of homelessness, but it just shows you how our diets are and everything like that. And that's one of the things I know Khabib knew that he can do, especially when he was fighting Conor. He was just going to break him, just all in all break you, just constant. And his grinding is not just grinding. He's trying to hurt you. See, a lot of people didn't understand that about Khabib at first. Khabib is trying to punish you. It ain't, some of them wrestlers say grinding, but grinding is a way of saying, I'm going to kind of hold you down sometime and I'm going to use my cardio. So I don't always like when they say they're a grinder because it's kind of like they're trying to have. I like people who grind, but you need to be effective. You need to be showing action. You need to be moving or the ref stands you up. And I seen Moon Knight say that earlier. Of course, nobody wants to see that, but that's when they had an impasse. Nobody's doing nothing. But I understand the wrestling. I understand the jiu-jitsu. I understand the position. And sometimes these guys are,
He's a beast. And Conor, like Khabib is a perfect example of those people when they say like it's the quiet ones you got to watch out for.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, and Conor obviously he's the loud mouth type. He wanted to kill. He wanted to kill Conor in that ring. Don't get it twisted. When you disrespect his religion, they don't play about that.
And that's what it was. The biggest thing was his wife when she wears her niqab. That niqab goes over your face. So when he called her a curtain, bruh, that's
Yeah.
They'd be glad there's refs. Like if it was like a street fight, he would have.
No, I wouldn't say that Bravo J says
Oliveira beats Makhachev.
Yeah, there you go. My bad, D.
Bravo J, if Oliveira beats Makhachev, he would have effectively cleaned out the division. Yeah. You got to think about the guys he's beaten already. I mean, really go back and look at Oliveira's resume.
I was going to say, put some respect on his name, how they say,
Gaethje, he's beaten Poirier, he's beaten Michael Chandler, he's beaten Tony Ferguson.
Damn.
Who else did he beat, man? Oliveira's
my boy Dustin.
Yeah,
he beat Dustin.
Tough guys,
you said Dustin
man.
Poirier, huh? Yeah, you said Dustin.
Yeah, I said Dustin.
Yeah,
he's beaten a lot of tough guys, man. So he would have affected if he beats Makhachev in October, which Khabib is trying to campaign for that fight right now. If he beats Makhachev in October, he would have effectively cleaned out the division.
So what?
Give ands buts about it.
He's taken some losses in his career already, right?
Oh yeah.
He's got 8 losses.
Yeah.
So what's this like newfound? What happened? What made this winning streak he's on? What changed?
Well, one of the things
to me, it's a bump up in weight.
Yeah.
It's a bump up in weight. Once he moved from 45 to 55, and his striking has caught up with.
That's what I wanted to see was his striking. Yeah.
Sounds like Usman a little bit. Usman's striking working all that.
And he's lethal with his jiu-jitsu. I like certain guys that are lethal. Like the moment they touch guys, you see guys get scared as hell. But that's how guys got with Oliveira. Because when he got Dustin, I saw the fear. He's like, oh, well, backpack time. You know what I mean? And he's not going to let you go, bro.
He has the most finishes.
I didn't like the feel of that.
Let's see. Kevin Lee, Jim Miller, Clay Guida, Nick Lentz. Like I said, he beat Ferguson.
Yeah.
His last loss was to Paul Felder when he got knocked out by Paul Felder.
Yeah.
Let me see. He beat my guy Anthony Pettis. Well, no. Anthony Pettis beat him. And
El Kukui got starched last night, man. I was like, wow.
Tony needs to retire.
Yeah.
I truly believe that, man. He really needs to retire.
That was a bad knockout.
Knockout.
Tony Ferguson.
And he's never been stopped like that. Never.
No, Tony Ferguson's never been stopped like that. Now, he got brutally beaten by Justin Gaethje, but he got beat up. He got beat up real bad by Beneil Dariush. He got brutally beaten by Gaethje. He got who was it that beat him up before now? Yeah. Oh, Oliveira. Oliveira beat him. Oliveira almost took his arm off.
Yeah, I was surprised by that one, boy.
Yeah,
I was still riding.
I was like, God damn it, Tony, just tap, man.
Just tap, bro. Yeah. Hey, 93 octane. I understand what
you're saying. Some people are just too tough for their own good.
But Islam, what's so dirty about what's so crucial with Islam is once he gets your waist, that's a wrap. That's what I noticed with Islam. Every time he can get close to you and get that body, man, that's what's different. He's kind of similar to Khabib in that way. That once he gets you around the waist, he's gonna just control you, bro. And that's what I see.
Dagestanis, man.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I tell them it's just that Dagestani wrestling. That's what it is. Even the other Russians don't wrestle like that. They don't wrestle like them Dagestanis. They don't.
Yeah, he got his last 4 fights. He got punished. He got punished by Gaethje. That fight is what really took a lot out of him. I think that Justin Gaethje fight changed him because that was a 5-round ass whooping that they finally end up stopping in the 5th round. Charles Oliveira beat him up pretty bad. Beneil Dariush beat him up and washed him. That fight wasn't close. I think the scorecards after that fight I think it was like 30-25, something like
sleeping
that.
on Beneil. I told him, boy, Beneil, that's another one. That's
Beneil Dariush, his grappling is starting to catch up with his striking.
Yeah, man. So, he just one of them. Yeah.
And then he got front kick to the face and knocked out last night, man. Crane kick style.
Yes, sir.
So
Anderson Silva started all that. Everybody front kick. You get a front kick. You get a front kick. Everybody getting one.
Everybody.
But the way Anderson Silva knocked out Vitor with that front kick, it was more so. It was just a flip. It was a flip kick. I mean, it was more like a flippy kick. Wasn't that much power behind it.
Kick. Yeah.
He just kind of snapped it out there and it caught.
That's what it was.
And it stunned him. And Anderson Silva was able to stop the fight. Michael Chandler just straight up field goal kicked him last night. Straight
that's
to
what
the face.
his was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, more of like a Thai style, teep kick with a little mustard on it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I think Tony needs to retire. His last 4 fights hadn't even been close. And he's been stopped in 2 of them. After, he was a brutal knockout last night. And like I said, that Justin Gaethje fight is what really changed him. Because that was a beating.
You don't seem like a stable person, bro.
Hey, 93 Octane, you right about that. That's one thing I do question at times. He say Charles is still a bit of a front runner. Islam is going to slow the pace down and slowly suffocate the energy out of Charles. Charles will get tired, When that lactic acid builds up for Charles, that's when you heard what Whatchamacallit was saying. I'm gonna make him quit.
Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje was saying I'm gonna make him quit. But see, I don't like when they say he's a quitter because I hadn't seen him quit at 155.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, DJ. They always want to look for, and say, bring up old stuff, as we say. Yeah, you just said earlier.
Also, we hadn't seen Islam with somebody in there with the skill level of a Charles Oliveira.
Hey,
somebody who's not going to be afraid, who he's not going to be afraid to grapple with. Charles Oliveira will pull guard and try to snap your neck.
He tried last night. Remember, he jumped up.
Yeah,
and
he tried with Gaethje last night. He tried to snap. He tried to take Gaethje's neck off. He pulled guard with Gaethje last night. And Gaethje said, "Oh, fuck that! Stand back up."
Yeah, I knew Moon Knight. That's what I was going to say too, Bravo J. Everybody be sleeping on Khabib. Don't forget, he clipped Conor and dropped him. They saying that in the chat. I'm like, they act like he don't have no hands. Yo, he hits hard.
Yeah, Khabib just, I love what he told. Khabib was a savage, man.
Yes, sir.
You break bust, so what? Send me location.
Yeah, he one of the originals talking about, because, Islam and them all started saying it too, but he said, no problem. I eat sandwich, take nap, I come back, I fight this guy. I love when he's, man.
This guy,
I eat sandwich, I take nap, I come back, I fight this guy.
I smash this guy, brother.
Say it again, DJ. Smish.
I smish this guy, brother. When Daniel Cormier said when Khabib grabbed him when they were wrestling in the gym one day, when Khabib grabbed him, and he was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm the heavyweight. Yeah.
He was like, hold on, I'm a heavyweight. Hold on. He said, man, Khabib was strong. He's like, Khabib felt like a middleweight on top of him. He was like, man, hold on, man.
Like, hold on. Something not right here. When your body not registered,
Yeah. With dangerous stand-up and grappling, perfect matchup. I got Oliveira, though. But, yeah, Khabib catch you with hands when you think he finna grapple. Yeah, because your hands are always low. You're afraid. You're terrified of Khabib being on top of you because he's not just trying to get on top of you and kind of ride the clock out. He's trying to turn your face into soup.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, so
he's going to either choke you or beat on you. He's not going to just be up there just to say I done took you down and I'm trying to get position. I'm getting position to punish you. Slowly I'm going to crank it up on you, either choke you out or you're going to just roll over and probably tap the strikes. So I'm not going to get off of you.
Yeah, the Bronx, his jiu-jitsu has always been deadly. I think he has the most finishes in UFC history. He was always a human anaconda. Anytime he got a hold of your neck or one of your limbs, it was only a matter of time. But now his Muay Thai has caught up with his grappling. So he will throw whatever the fuck he wants to throw, because if you take him down, so what? So what? You crack me, so what?
Yeah.
You're gonna
Once you're
have to
comfortable
keep
on the
doing it,
ground, like you
because
say, yeah, I'm
eventually
not fearing that.
I'm gonna get you back. What happened with Gaethje last night? Gaethje kept loading up on his shots. That's what got him. That's what got him in trouble. Eventually, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna tag you back, and if I drop you, I'm gonna take your back and I'm gonna strangle you. I'm gonna take your neck and I'm gonna strangle you. I'm gonna take an arm and I'm gonna snap it off if you don't tap. So the fact that Charles Oliveira's hands and Dirk, like I said earlier, this is the transformation. Not only him moving up in weight, because he's a tall guy. I think he's like 6'1", weighing in at 155. Even though he missed weight Friday, he missed weight
we're
by
gonna
half
talk
a
about
pound.
that on DJ
So
about that belt being vacant.
Yeah, the belt is vacant right now. He is the number one contender. Dana has already said that his next fight will be for the title. A lot of people still view him as the champion, even though he missed weight by half a pound. And I could see on his face at the weigh-in, he was confused when he missed weight, because he probably was on weight, because they check your weight. You know, they have these scales, whether it's at the hotel or when they fight in Vegas at the UFC Apex. They have these scales that tell you where you're at, and they ask you, do you want to use kilograms or pounds? So he probably used kilos to measure his weight up in the hotel. Then when he got down to the official scale, it was a half a pound. He was off by half a pound. So, you know, it wasn't egregious. He didn't miss by 2-3 pounds. You know what I mean? But that half a pound means everything in a championship fight.
And
if this had been a non-title fight, he would have been cool, because the commissions allow you to be a pound over in non-title fights. That's why
so
you
what do
see
you
a
think
lot of
he's
these
gonna do next,
guys,
though,
when the
DJ?
weight
I mean, what
limit
is he
is
gonna do?
155, they'll come in at 156.
Yeah. Who is he gonna fight next? Just like I was gonna say, between him and Canelo, kind of that both of them, what are they gonna do next thing?
Who? For
both Charles Oliveira and for Canelo, where do they go next? Charles has a weird situation. They both got, situations that they're dealing with. And where does Canelo go after that?
I think Oliveira fights Makhachev next. Because I think that's the only fight out there left for him. Even though Dana said after he didn't take the Rafael dos Anjos fight on a week's notice, after he had just beaten Bobby Green, because Beneil Dariush had to pull out. I think Dariush had an ankle injury before he was supposed to fight Makhachev. Since he didn't take the Rafael dos Anjos fight, that's the fight that they've tried to schedule a few times. Rafael dos Anjos told him, hey, we'll fight at 170 or we'll fight at 165. I'm not going to ask you to cut all the way back down to 155, even though his last fight against Bobby Green was a catch weight, because they asked Bobby Green to come in off of like 10 days notice after Beneil Dariush got injured. Since he didn't take that fight on a short notice, Dana said, all right, cool, we're just going to reschedule the Dariush fight. But now, seeing as how good Charles looked in his last fight with Gaethje, I think they're gonna make that fight with Makhachev and Charles Oliveira in Abu Dhabi in October. That's the next time they're going to Abu Dhabi. So I think that's gonna be his next fight, and we'll see what happens, man. I can't wait to see that fight if they make it. Michael Chandler, I love the Conor McGregor call out.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that.
I think that fight makes perfect sense. If either he's gonna fight Conor McGregor or he's gonna fight Dustin Poirier. So I would love to see a Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier fight.
Yeah,
love
right
it.
quick. Yeah, because he didn't bang that.
Moon
Knight, I know you said he's going back to the division. He's talking about Canelo because he just addressed me. Hold on, DJ, excuse me. He said that in shape street fighter, Canelo goes back to his division and shows why he is king, LOL. He say Charles not sure he can do whatever he wants. Yeah, really, that is true. He's talking because I wanted to see, like he said, what they say with Canelo. He say Canelo gonna go back and reign supreme again.
Yeah,
they saying 93 Octane say
it's
Charles
really
has a wiry
because he
range.
has no choice. And like I was saying earlier, I think they've pretty much already sold that Triple G fight. I think they've already guaranteed Triple G that fight.
So that's in writing for sure. You think that's already?
I don't think
somebody
it's in
did say
writing.
that. They said he already signed up for his next fight. They was talking about how arrogant. Yeah, I think I did see that somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think it's in writing already, but I believe that's gonna be the next fight. I don't think Canelo is gonna go back up to 175 straight away. I think he's gonna go back down to 168.
Right, DJ?
I think he's gonna go back down to 168, get a win. I think he stops Triple G personally, and after that, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Triple G looked. Everybody was talking about it. He didn't look impressive at all, bro. He really didn't. When I saw some of the clips from the fight, because I'm not gonna say I watched the whole thing, but I was like, yeah, he looked like a sweaty old man. Pause. Like I said, yeah, it tripped me out.
Yeah, man.
Talk about Triple G. Excuse me if they didn't catch that. I was talking about Triple G in his fight. Yeah.
Yeah, for the first 5 rounds of that fight, Murata was putting some on that ass, and then he got tired because he's been off for 2 years. If Zabit, listen, I don't think Zabit's coming back because they tried to schedule that fight with my guy Yair Rodriguez. They tried to schedule that fight between him and Zabit, I think 3 different times, and Zabit turned it down. So I think he got cut. I don't even think he's in the promotion anymore.
No, Bellator. Didn't he go over to Bellator?
No, I don't think he's in Bellator. I don't think he's in I just don't think he's in what's the name anymore. I don't think he's in the UFC. He might end up going somewhere else, but I don't think he's in the UFC because they tried to get him to fight Yair Rodriguez. And he didn't want to.
Are you talking about Magomed Sharipov or which one?
Yeah, Zabit Magomed Sharipov.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hormone monster.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that, man. I'll be I heard he was supposed to come back in 2022. Yeah, he not only lost his ranking, he was number 3 in the world. I think Yair was like number 5 at the time, number 2. He was in the top 5. And they tried to make that fight and he didn't want to make it happen. So, we'll see what happens.
What do y'all think of Chimaev?
I still need to see more because Gilbert Burns, I think, as my guy Cameron Markham would say on this channel, I think his hands work, and I think Usman kills him.
Still think it's a tough fight though.
I think Colby beats him because Chimaev got tired in that fight against Gilbert. And he wasn't able to just run over Gilbert in the grappling. That's what I wanted to see more than anything. I wanted to see him go up against a guy who he couldn't run over in the grappling. That's why I wanted to see him against somebody like a Gilbert Burns or Vicente Luque or Neil Magny, somebody like that.
Yeah, and they
after
need to remember
Gilbert showed me that he could get touched, and he has great power. He has great power and great grappling.
Boy, DJ, you're great, but you Howard Cosell. You went right into it because I was going to say they're going to quit playing like that boy didn't just have a hard fight.
Right,
he was mauling everybody.
Gilbert touched him up a lot, and he had, shit got a little dicey for Chimaev.
Got a little dicey.
Gilbert had him on Bambi legs a couple times in that fight.
Because you saw him after the fight too. He was admitted. He was like, "Hey, okay, all right, yeah, now you understand."
Fight, brother. It was a tough fight, brother.
I smashed him.
But he won. He won the fight. I'm not going to take that away from him. He won the fight.
He definitely got power though, because he dropped Buddy with a jab.
He definitely has
went
a lot
home
of
and sat down and thought
punches.
about that a little bit. He gonna watch that film. I know he is.
He's gonna be patient. He got a little too excited. You can't just do that against elite fighters. Just rush him in like you do those other guys you was fighting.
Yeah, that Canelo confidence. That's what it is. You're supposed to do this when I come over here and do that. Yeah.
I think if they put him in there, with Colby right now, that would be a mistake because Colby's volume and Colby's chin is gonna be something to really deal with. And I don't think he's gonna be able to take Kobe down.
And DJ, don't get mad at me. I've never been a Kobe fan, but I have to put a little respect on Kobe's name, even though he didn't get over the hill. He does show me after that fight with him that he's a problem. Yeah, he can box a little bit now. He's always had cardio. So yeah, he's somebody to beat. And I've just never been a fan of him. You know what I mean? But a fighter is a fighter. And if you can get something done, I see it with my eyes. I just wanted to jump in and say that because I felt guilty for I always didn't like him. You know what I'm saying? But he showed me that he still got a little something left in him.
Yeah, don't get me
I
wrong.
don't know that MAGA
Kobe's
stuff is for real or he's just playing a villain role, but
yeah, he was being the heel. You know what I mean? But sometimes people go too far, and I don't like that. I don't want to get into the whole race thing, but when people try to not be racist but benefit from certain dog whistle type-ish stuff, I don't, because then you got to come back and apologize like you did to Kamaru, but it was still like, I know that you may not be, but you tried to benefit from it. So it's making me look at your side.
He was trying to
you know what I'm saying?
He was trying to sell a fight. Now, by all accounts, you know, the people who've been around Kobe without the cameras, you know what I mean? They say Kobe's a great guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know Kobe Covington outside of what I see on camera.
Yeah.
And he's a turd. He's a turd, but he can fight.
That's what I say. But
yeah, he's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah,
you're willing to tap into that.
He can fight, man. So I can't front on his skills just because of what I think his character issues may be. Kobe can fight, man.
Yeah,
and I think Kobe's in that weird spot. Kobe's in that weird spot with Robert Whittaker right now, where they've lost to the champion twice and got knocked out by the champion in the first fight, and they came back and lost a decision in the second fight. So they've lost to the champion twice, but I think they're gonna smoke everybody underneath them. So they're in that weird spot, man. Just like Max Holloway. Max Holloway, even though I think Max beat Volkanovski twice, in my opinion, I will go to my grave saying that. They're about to finalize that fight for a third time.
Man, I've never seen the love of my life get so angry because she's a Max fan. When she saw that, she was like, okay. She almost started. She said she started comparing it to boxing, and when she say stuff like that, I'm like, wow, yeah.
Brad Riddell. I think, no. It's not Riddell. I think Riddell's at 55. I'm trying to think who's the guy at 70 that's undefeated. He just beat.
He's bringing some. Who is this DJ? Who's Shav? What he said? Shavkat Rahmanov.
I know who he's talking about.
I don't know nothing about that. 93.
Another one of them Dagestanis.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, how old is he? He a young buck?
No, he ain't young. He just coming over into the promotion.
Okay, so he's just one of the guys that finally got his.
What's his name? God damn it, man! He's undefeated. Sean Brady.
Okay, yeah, I do. Yeah,
Sean Brady. Sean Brady is, I think, 14-0, and I think he's ranked around number 10 right now. He's also a problem in that 170 pound division. So
he dropped off.
We're gonna see what happens, man. We're gonna see what happens with this welterweight division. I think Rude Boy Brown deserves.
Yeah, he dropped off, DJ. I just Yeah, you're right, Bravo J. Yeah, he's a good fighter. Bravo J said he hate Kobe too, but Kobe probably give Cosmic problems. Yeah.
All finishes well-rounded killer with some. Yeah. I'm familiar with who he is.
I'm gonna have to Google that. Yeah, my hand is right there.
Yeah, I'm familiar with who he is. I don't know a lot about him, but I'm familiar with who he is. I hate Kobe too, but Kobe will probably get Kamzat problems. And I think they're gonna try to put that fight together. I think they're trying to put that together because I think they want to give Hamzat a title shot.
Yeah.
John Jones scared of Francis? Nah, absolutely not. John Jones wants to get paid. He's trying to get a huge purse because he's moving up. He's moving up in weight, and you're asking him to fight the most dangerous guy in the sport, and he's undefeated. So, and John Jones is undefeated, and plus, John Jones has a lot of out of the octagon issues that he has to deal with. That's his personal business. I try not to really judge these people that I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm not perfect.
Even though I may have a problem with the reports that I've been reading. Like I read the police report from the Vegas thing last year, and I didn't like what I read. But you can say it sounds like excuses all you want to. But that's just a simple fact. He said from the jump, I want some money. I want a huge payday.
Yeah, that's when they started talking about that money between them in boxing too. You know, you're always comparing the two and talking about it. And John has earned his spot. Yeah.
Yeah, John Jones is well off now. He ain't hurting for no money. And that's a lot of the gap in boxing as far as like, you know, let's go ahead and put this out there. There's only a handful of guys in boxing making that type of money. Like, if we're gonna be honest about this situation, everybody acts like boxing is just
and it's not that. They say the possibility though,
money.
DJ. That's the next argument they're going to come at you with. But the possibility of making the money is there. They're saying that even the top tier MMA fighters don't make a lot of money.
Israel Adesanya and Shakur Stevenson make the same money. Think about that. Dustin Poirier got
not me,
paid.
DJ. I'm just speaking on. I'm devil's advocate. That's all.
Yeah. I got you. I'm more so speaking to the chat. The Mexican dude that beat John Jones, he barely made it through the fight. Francis would kill John. Reyes beat Jones. Hey, a lot of people think that, but it is what it is. A lot of people think Thiago Santos beat John Jones, but it is what it is. I don't. I think John was unmotivated and playing with his food in them fights. Because we've seen since then Reyes ain't as good as we think. Reyes ain't as good as we thought he was. He's been knocked out twice. He's been slept twice in his last two fights.
Yeah, my boy got Bambi legged a couple of times.
Yeah, man. Got Bambi leg. He got iced his last fight against Yuri Prohaza, who is going to be a fucking problem for Glover Teixeira. But I'm not going to count the old dog out, man. Glover has shown me in the past, don't count him out. So, but I think Yuri Prohaska is the goods, man. Ray has been on the decline. Yeah, I think that fight with John Jones took a lot out of him. I think he fought the fight of his life, and John Jones was playing with his food because he was unmotivated. That's just my personal opinion. Y'all can say it's excuses or whatever, but No,
DJ, that's a good argument. I can second that because you know how he is. He was just, I'm the best. You know how he was for a while. He's always been kind of the young cocky, but he backed it up. And now he's, like you say, starting to get on the twilight of his career. Mm-hmm. You know, he felt like some of these guys, because he was keeping busy sometimes, seemed like DJ. Who else he was going to fight? He was way back with the Sugar Richards and all that now. And almost everybody they put in front of him, he was a puzzle for them to try to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, those two fights they did bring up was some close fights. And I think
absolutely razor thin fights. It was a split decision.
Yeah.
It was a split decision win for him and Thiago Santos. And it was a razor thin win for him with Dominic Reyes. But he did win those fights. That's what I mean. Reyes, okay.
I know, and I think Thiago, I thought he was going to do better at next go round, but I was kind of surprised by that once he got healthy and everything. Just throw that in there right quick, DJ, because after that fight, I was impressed with Thiago. I was like, okay, because he did give John some problems, but that old knee went out on him.
Yeah, his knee went out, and I felt like John could have finished him, but what made that fight closer than it should have been is why John Jones was great in his 20s. John Jones took pride in beating guys what they were best at. If you came in the fight as a wrestler, he was going to try to out-wrestler. If he was going to try to out-wrestle you. If you came in the fight as a jiu-jitsu guy, he was going to try to out-grapple you. If you came in the fight as a kickboxer, he was going to try to outstrike you just to prove a point. He fought Glover Teixeira completely in the pocket. When he beat Glover Teixeira years ago, who's the current champion now. When he beat Glover Teixeira back in like 2013, I think it was. He fought Glover Teixeira in the pocket because Glover was on like a 22-fight win streak at the time and was knocking dudes cold. So he took pride in fighting Glover Teixeira in the pocket. What you think of Usman versus Adesanya? That fight will never happen. That fight will never happen. Those guys have said, that's my brother. I'm not fighting him. We're in two separate
You see
weight
what
classes.
I mean by that? Take the two dangerous ones and get them to cancel each other out.
Yeah, my guy DB, me and him talk about that all the time, man. He used to point that out to me, and I was like, oh, no, man, it's just coincidence. But now with this latest fight with Chaos Williams and Rude Boy Brown, it seems like they really do, the matchmakers at the UFC, they really do take pride in taking two young black prospects and making them fight each other. You know what I mean? And it goes back as far recently. It goes back as far as Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman have fought before, people, if y'all didn't already know that. And Kamaru Usman absolutely mauled him. So, I'm glad Leon built himself back up. I don't think he's lost since then. I'm glad he built himself back up to put himself in a position to get a title shot. He's just been a victim of unfortunate circumstances because he should have had a title shot 2 years ago. But unfortunately, we all know what happened, and everything shut down for a while. And, and then he was stuck in England because England was one of those countries that wouldn't let nobody in or out.
I wanted
to see it. They shut his gym down. He was only able to train at home, and, and because he was scheduled to fight Tyron Woodley early in 2020, but he couldn't make the flight over because they shut it down. They, like I said, England shut everything down, so he wasn't able to get out of the country and make the fight. Hence, Gilbert Burns ended up getting the fight, goes in the fight, absolutely dominates Tyron Woodley, and gets a title shot after that. So, I mean,
Moon Knight say you want to see Oscar versus Dana.
5 rounds of boxing. Look, Moon Knight, when we got on MMA, you actually started making a little bit of sense. But Dana and Oscar absolutely hate each other.
Yeah.
They hate each other. Oscar keeps poking at him, pay your fighters. Dana brings out a whole receipt at his next press conference. He was like, yeah, they're going to make all this money. They were Chuck and Tito were going to make all this money fighting under Oscar De La Hoya in his MMA debut, right? In his MMA promotion debut. It was like they got paid less than what they made in their last UFC fights. He brought out the entire Golden Boy card.
Say that again, DJ, because I stepped away. I got water running. I didn't hear you. Say that again. My bad.
Him and Oscar have had this combative relationship for years, and it all stems from when Oscar was telling Dana he needs to pay his fighters. You need to pay your fighters this. You need to pay your fighters that. And Dana is actually friends with Chuck Liddell. Like, they're legit friends, right? When Chuck Liddell retired, Dana White gave him a title in the UFC. Gave him a title. Wasn't really a job. Gave him a title. It was director of such and such operations and this, right? He gave Chuck Liddell a title. He was paying Chuck not to fight because this is after Chuck started getting brutally knocked out. And since he's his friend, he gave him a title in the company and was paying him close to $400,000 a year not to fight. All you got to do is show up at the facility, show your face, talk to some of the young fighters. These guys are fans of you, blase, right? After the new owners took over in, I think, 2016, they cut a lot of those guys. Remember, that's how Mike Goldberg lost his job. The other announcer.
That was always weird, yeah.
Yeah, just like that, the new champion of the UFC.
Yeah, his name is associated with it. That was weird when they did him like that.
Yeah, that was weird when they did Mike Goldberg. Like, they cut Mike Goldberg, and a lot of these former fighters who Dana had on the payroll, which doesn't get talked about. He had a lot of these former fighters on the payroll, including Rampage and Rashad and all these guys. He had them on the payroll. WME, IMG, the people who own it now, they said, oh, fuck that. We just bleeding money. I know we making great money, but we just bleed money to guys who ain't even fighting. What is their title? What is their actual job? So they cut their job, and Chuck wanted to fight again. He naturally wanted to fight. Dana was paying him not to fight. So he goes over to Oscar, him and Tito, and they make Chuck and Tito 3. Now, Oscar's whole thing was, I'm going to pay these guys more money than they've ever made in their career, right? I think they both made a little over $250,000, right? Chuck and Tito were making, I think Chuck and Tito both made more than that their last, this is according to Dana, they made more than that their last fight in the UFC, and he was paying Chuck almost $400K a year not to even fight. So they go do that. They go do that card, and Chuck ends up getting knocked out. Don't know how they sanctioned the fight. Dana's pissed because he's actually friends with Chuck and he don't want him to fight. So they start that relationship. They start that back and forth. Then you need to pay your fighters. And Dana comes out with a receipt after one of his events. I think it was after that Jaime Munguia card right before he fought Gabriel Rosado. He was like, you paid your entire card $36,352. That's what the entire Golden Boy card made, not including the main event.
Man, come on.
This is what Dana White was reading off this sheet of paper that he had. He's like, Alex Volkanovski, and I think this was before Alex fought, who was it?
And Moon Knight, they couldn't fight. It'd be two different weight classes. Will is way bigger than Chris.
I think this was after Volkanovski fought Ortega. I think this is after he fought Ortega. And he was saying Alex Volkanovski got paid more to wear his fight kit than what you actually paid your entire card. So he was like, you don't hear a lot of the fighters complaining about money, but you do hear some fighters complaining about money. But you got guys like Kevin Holland, who's never been a champion, who's still a prospect, saying, I fought 5 times last year and I'm a millionaire. Yeah, these guys just need to fight more.
That hurt a lot of guys that was complaining. And when he said that, it was a lot of people that was kind of backing him real strong. You know, shout out to Texas. But I was like, yeah, I think he angered quite a few people when he said that. But he did. He made that money.
Yeah, because Kevin Holland is a self-proclaimed company man. He was like, sure, you need me to fight when? Okay, cool. You know, he was like, you don't even know your opponent. It doesn't matter. You need me to be where? What's the weight? The weight really don't matter, but what you need me to hit the scale at?
Man, you retarded, Moon Knight. If we put the chair in there, how he gonna move around? You gonna put wheels on the chair, Moon Knight? You talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock going at it. I say that's too.
Oh man, that damn man.
Will too big. Will a light heavyweight, man.
Will about 6'4", 230, man. Chris about 5'7", 5'8", $170, man. Look, come on, man. No. just no. We're gonna leave it at that. Absolutely not.
Hell, even if he what was the one I Am Legend? If he cut down the I Am Legend size, he's still too big for
right,
Chris.
Right. But man,
Moon Knight, you
right,
need to
right.
I
don't think people understand. Man. Will is a big dude, man.
Yeah, he a nice sized dude. Pause. Let me say that for what you
right. Pause. Yeah, man, but. Yeah, Dana and Oscar got this relationship where Oscar keeps telling all Oscar keeps saying is you don't pay your fighters. And Dana was like, well, he was like, I can't pay everybody. And Dana has a point. Even though some guys I think deserve the money. I'm all pro athlete, by the way. Whatever the athlete wants, I say give it to them. Because they are the product.
Exactly. Right? You wouldn't be having nothing to talk about.
You wouldn't have nothing to talk about. You would have a promotion if it wasn't for the fighters, if it wasn't for the athletes, just like the NFL, NBA, whatever. If it wasn't for the athletes on the field, we wouldn't care. We don't pay.
Don't it irritate you, DJ, when they act like they're doing the athletes such a favor? You know, that's what gets me, man.
Absolutely. Even with boxing. any sport, I'm all for the athlete because they are the product. They are who we came to see. You know what I mean? We didn't pay $200 for a ticket to see y'all negotiate a contract.
Man, look here, DJ. Let me touch this right quick because I'm going to have to get my tissue. 93 Octane said, was Rose versus Carla a robbery? Haven't rewatched it again, but Rose appeared more technically proficient. What do you think? I was looking at both fights at that time. Now, I'm a fan of Rose, and so like I told you, it's my babe. She really likes MMA more than boxing. So I had two of them going, and she was watching Rose. When I say she was hysterical, DJ, whenever they announced the winner, bruh, I seen her whole demeanor change because I was kind of trying to watch both, so I can't give you a legitimate. But what I saw, it looked like Rose was doing what Rose does, and Carla was trying to do her thing. I don't really know about that. I have to ask the lady again because I want to go and watch that one. But I think that they said it was a robbery, DJ. I know you probably saw it.
Yeah, I was watching it too. I was watching the split screen too. But I was watching the Canelo fight on my phone.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's what I was doing.
I
So
was
I can't give him up. Yeah.
I was watching the other fight on my laptop. I was watching the UFC fight on my laptop. So I don't think it was a robbery, but at the same time, I don't believe Carla did enough to win that fight.
And that's what Baby said. Baby said she didn't do enough. She said, I understand that she moved around, but she said Carla did not do enough. I was like, okay.
In my opinion, like I still got that archaic way of thinking. You gotta take that shit from the champion.
Man, you got to.
You gotta take it.
And Carla
like
you can't.
I don't think you can win a belt from a champion. You gotta take that shit. Like
Didn't she look surprised at the end of that fight, though?
Woodley, he took that shit from Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna finish him, you have to make it a dominating decision, right? I had Carla 2 rounds for sure, second and 4. Yeah, man. See, that fight was hard for me to score, man, because I think at one point, after the third round, I think they had total, they had both landed, I think, 32 strikes.
Yeah, it was one of them Willie Pep rounds. If people always want to talk about Willie Pep, yeah, it was a lot of Willie. Because she said it was hard for her to score it because of the inactivity, but she felt like Rose was being elusive and landed certain shots. Carla did get hold of her, but she stood up each time is what she told me. So it wasn't like she took her down and held her.
Yeah, she didn't get controlled or anything, but that fight was hard for me to score. That's why I say I don't think Rose was robbed, but I don't think Carla did enough to win that fight. And it's all because of my archaic way of thinking, my caveman way of thinking with fights. And this goes with boxing as well. You gotta, that's just me, man. I don't know if a lot of people agree with me. You gotta take that shit. I'm saying that's just the way I look at it with championship fights.
Yeah.
You gotta take the belt from the champion.
Did she escape a submission attempt? Did Carla try to submit her or something? Because he's saying, didn't she? I know he meant didn't Carla choke Rose is what he meant probably to say.
No, every time Carla got a takedown, Rose popped right back up. Even Rose got a takedown in the last round. So nobody really took control of the fight. Nobody really took control of the fight. Both fighters had spurts, had a moment or two in each round. But yeah, like I said, man, that fight was hard for me to score. It was.
So you feel like maybe Rose left it open for her to win. She didn't necessarily.
Yeah, Rose didn't. Neither fighter took the initiative in that fight. Now Carla kept coming forward trying to get takedowns, and Rose was elusive and countering, and she was did a lot of movement, and she was utilizing her movement and her counters. And Carla was using her pressure and trying to take the fight down and threw a few leg kicks, but nobody really took control of that fight. If anything, I figured it would have been a draw. But like I said, man, it wasn't a robbery, but I don't think Carla did enough to beat the champion.
Yeah, because she left upset, man. I heard her raise her voice. I kept looking at both.
Yeah, Rose was shocked. Rose was shocked that she lost that fight. She was like, "Do I not get any credit for defense?" Like,
yep.
Yeah. This is UFC 274 we're talking about. Here's a conspiracy. Has a huge Mexican American population. Carla is Mexican. Yeah. No, UFC don't work like that.
But I like he got that 10-4 hat science at the end. I feel you, though. You never know. Like I said, I'm not going to say yay or nay because I don't know, but I do feel you. They were in Arizona.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the UFC really thinks like that because
I don't know. Francis Ngannou said it.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying jokingly. Francis and them was all saying that too. Seemed like he got a problem with darker complected individuals. I know he had a lot going on when he was supposed to come back and fight and all that. So, you know what I mean? Like he just felt like he should be respected more, and it may have been based on his ethnic group.
I know sometimes I may seem like a Dana White apologist, but I look at the business of it like just like with boxing. I try not to get into the business side of things, but Dana has over 600 fighters. He can't pay Izzy and Kamaru and Francis and John Joe. He can't pay these guys $10 million a fight with over 600 fighters. You look at PBC struggling with 200 fighters, right? And that's pretty much what he told everybody. Whenever somebody complains about fighter pay in the media, and I'm talking about just media members, and even Oscar, he was like, "You don't like the way I'm paying my fighters? Start your own MMA promotion and pay these guys $10 million a fight and see how long you last." So,
oh no, I agree. It's a business in the end, like you said. I just questioning because, like you said, I try not to be too much in that either, though. It's just after a certain time. You know what it was? Whenever Reebok came through, the whole world changed.
Reebok fucked up a lot of them guys.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, Reebok
guys are still eating good, DJ. Even guys like Brandon. What was that boy name that do the podcast now? They get on everybody's nerves. Yeah. He made a good point on some of his old stuff I kind of looked at. He's like, yeah, even though I wasn't this, that sponsorship is what paid for everything, Yeah.
Right. And that's the one who broke it down saying that I was getting I
think it's 1K or something in promotions or some other stuff he was breaking down.
It was like 10K. He was like one patch on his shorts cost that sponsor 10K.
Yeah.
But UFC did Francis so wrong. He should be his marquee number one star, especially if they genuinely want to break into Africa and open up new revenue streams and cultivate young talent. Absolutely. A 93 Octane, absolutely. I think the UFC Africa card is way overdue. I don't care where it is. There's plenty of spots that they can do it. They could do it in Nigeria. They could do it in South Africa. There's already a couple MMA I think there's already MMA promotion down there in South Africa. You could do it in Morocco.
Dana gonna do UFC Egypt. You know that.
Yeah,
Africa,
you can
but
do
not
it in
Africa.
Morocco, man. And there's a plethora of African fighters on the UFC roster already. That would be huge.
I want to see the African ring girls.
We've been to Brazil umpteenth amount of times. We've been to England a whole bunch of times. Hell, we've been to Sweden 4 or 5 times. So it's time for the UFC Africa card. They've built, I think they're still last I heard, they're looking for the land to build UFC Apex is out there trying to cultivate some of that talent, get some training going. Francis just opened him an MMA gym back in his home country of Cameroon.
Get it, DJ. Yes, he did. I was smiling from ear to ear when he said that. I'm like, the boy's growing.
And that's what the rift was with Francis and Dana. Francis had just won the belt, I think, early last year. I think it was around March or April of last year.
Yeah.
And by September, y'all gonna have an interim title fight.
That's what I was saying.
Francis told Dana, look, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna do this.
But he said he had an injury to tend to too, right, DJ? So he needed the time, correct?
No, this was after let me see. When did he fight last?
Yeah, I could have swore. I remember the time frame, but he also said
his last fight with an injury.
He was saying that he needed time.
With Cyril Gane with an injury.
And he said they talked to Dana about that, and Dana still kind of went about his business. And then he started kind of bashing him. And then Francis's manager said that he doesn't want to be unbusinesslike, but he was supposed to be releasing certain texts and messages saying, "Don't make it like I'm lying, Dana." That's when I got into that. And then Dana didn't say nothing after that. I know that much.
What was it? Moon Knight, they've even been to Chile, they've been to Uruguay. Like, we can't get a UFC Africa card?
Oh, yeah, they've been everywhere, baby. Almost every continent, like they say. Hell, they probably go to the North and South Pole if people show up.
I'd like for them to go back to Mexico. They went to, but them fighters hated that shit. That's why they ain't been back to Mexico.
Yeah, tell me more about that right quick, DJ. I did hear about that, but I'm always
they fought in Mexico City. This is when Cain Velasquez and Fabricio Verdum fought, right?
Was it that altitude is what you mean?
That altitude fucking sucked. A lot of fighters who were on that card complained. It was like, man, we were
like I said, but what about Denver? When they fight in Denver, they said that, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's worse than Denver. It's higher than Denver. Mexico City is higher than Denver, and you get guys training at Big Bear, training even in Albuquerque. I think Albuquerque is above sea level. It's at altitude. So you get guys training in New Mexico and in Colorado and in Big Bear. They said they still weren't prepared for the altitude. Cain Velasquez, free Cain Velasquez, by the way, was known for his cardio. Even he gassed out down there in Mexico City. Those fighters were fucking miserable. They were miserable, and they had been down there a week and a half, 2 weeks, and they were still miserable in them fights. They could not breathe. Those fighters hated fighting in Mexico City. So that altitude killed a lot of that killed that. That's why they hadn't been back. And they have great Mexican fighters. They have a lot of good Mexican fighters, including a former Mexican champion in Brandon Moreno, which him and Davison Figueiredo need to run it back one more time. They need to go ahead and make the fourth fight. Guys gotta go work. Guys gotta go to work, man, tomorrow early. It was nice being here, and I'll be back. You have not seen the last. Hey, man, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and thank you for coming in. But 93 Octane, going back to your comment, Dana doesn't have a problem with Francis. He and Francis actually talked after his last fight. It's Dana has a problem with Francis's management. And, you know, this is coming from Dana himself. He was like, I have a problem with the guys representing him. You know, I guess I don't know. I don't know how they're talking to each other. He was like, it's the people representing Francis that I have a problem with. It's not Francis. He's like, me and Francis are great. You know, he's a great guy. I like Francis. But he should definitely be promoting Francis more as the heavyweight champion, as the baddest man on the planet.
And that's what people were saying, that he doesn't really get the coverage that he's supposed to be getting, DJ.
Yeah. And it's partly him. But a lot of this stuff now is because Dana comes from the boxing world. A lot of the stuff now, we've seen how promotion has evolved. These fighters really don't need a promoter anymore with social media. You stay active on social media. Look at Ryan Garcia. You stay active on social media, hitting pads and doing mitt work and hitting the heavy bag all fast and hard and shit. Pause. You know, people will fall for that. He's been able to parlay that into a Gatorade deal. So you got to be able to sell yourself as well. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But Francis will probably be back around September, October, because he had to have knee surgery. That's why he came into the last fight with knee pads on, with those like them copper tone knee pads.
All right, Moon Knight. Nice rapping with you, man. He said you was a troll, but you was pretty decent.
Yeah, once we switched to MMA, Moon Knight knew what he was talking about. It's just that boxing. I don't think he too keen on. But you know, it is what it is, man. We appreciate you for coming through as always. But yeah, man, it's about to get real interesting. Next month we're gonna have. See, we've already had the pay-per-view for this month, even though we still got 3 more cards this month. No, 2 more cards. The next pay-per-view is going to be June 4th over in Singapore. It's going to be Yuri Prohaska, the number 2 contender in the world. Well, righteously the number 1 contender. He's going to be fighting the champion, Glover Teixeira, who I was very excited. For. He finally broke through and won the belt. Choking out Jan Blachowicz earlier this year. I think they fought in February, I want to say. I think he and Jan Blachowicz fought in February.
893 Octane. That's one of the things I say is that sometimes people don't realize just because of the society we in that we give ourselves double standards without realizing it. And that's one of the things that I know that people were saying. And I like the way he worded it. He said Francis wants to freelance outside of the octagon and take advantages of opportunities with super fights with Fury. It's cool for Conor, but Francis, not so much. And that's one of the things people kind of just tend to accept it. And I don't want to keep bringing the whole optics into it, but the white guy can act flamboyant and walk around with his chest taco meat out. And he's just, oh my God, he's so entertaining. We do it. We're arrogant. We're stuck up. Plus, he wants to cross over for a fight. And it's like, why don't you just, oh yeah, that sounds great. But now with Francis, it's like, you got a contract, I'll sue you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It's Francis wants, yeah. And of course, Dano doesn't want to see his champion go to boxing and get beat up by Tyson Fury.
Of course, DJ, yeah, but you know
Dana
what I'm saying?
doesn't do the cross promotion thing ever since I think it was 2001, 2002, I want to say.
Mayweather beat the hell out of Conor.
Well, not only did Mayweather beat the hell out of Conor, but you remember when they sent Chuck Liddell over to Pride to fight Rampage Jackson and he got iced? Chuck was the champion at the time. He was either the champion or a top contender in the UFC. I'm not going to risk sending my champion over to a Bellator or to a ONE FC and possibly see them get beat, because then my belt is not seen as the most prestigious belt. So why would I send my champion? He did it with Conor. He let Conor do it.
You don't want to
because
taint your
number one,
product.
Conor was selling 2 million pay-per-views at the time. He was the money.
Yeah, he saw money. I know a big part of it was money, and people want to see the, you know, it is what it is.
Francis
I don't get my
ain't
feelings
selling
hurt behind it.
pay-per-views. As entertaining as Francis is, knocking people's head through the roof,
yeah, he's not going to sell
he's
a
not
fight
selling
like
as many pay-per-views as Conor was selling. That's just the sad reality of the situation.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't get butthurt behind it, because I know how the world works. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, we're gonna have some good fights coming up. Oh yeah, and the rematch of the 2020 fight of the year in the UFC. Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Zhang Weili will rematch on that same card over in Singapore. So, you know, we got some good fights coming up in MMA, man. John Jones is reportedly supposed to be coming back around August, late July, August, something like that. That's when he wants to get back in there. But I think we're gonna have Israel Adesanya and Jared Cannonier. I think they're gonna be fighting in July during International Fight Week.
You just made me remember, DJ. I'm thinking about Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, man. Johanna and Jay, when they went at it, baby. That's another women's fight that I really forgot about. Another women's fight that was like, man.
I think that was 2020 fight of the year, because I think that was the last card before the pandemic hit.
Man, how did I forget about that? Man.
Oh, man, if y'all hadn't seen that fight, just go type in Weili versus Joanna. Great fight, classic fight. Those two ladies put on a show.
They was throwing everything. The kitchen sink, a couple of tires, a rim. They was throwing everything at each other.
Yeah, I agree with you. 93 Octane. They could easily rewrite the narrative. Well, yeah, man, my eyelids are starting to get a little sticky, so I think I'm gonna go call it a night, man. I
All right, I
everybody
appreciate you,
coming
DJ,
through
man.
with
I'm
us.
gonna jump off too.
Yes, sir. I appreciate everybody coming through, chilling with us tonight, man. I think everybody kind of got their feelings off their chest about Saul Alvarez losing. I felt like it was the Death Star is finally starting to fall, and by Death Star I mean Eddie Reynoso's gym. I think the Evil Empire has taken a couple hits.
DJ, come on now, you know it. Some failed tests and 2 losses. This is gonna be a bumpy one for the rest of this year.
Absolutely.
For them, and I'm gonna get off on that, man. Yeah.
And then he was the trainer of the year last year, but yet we got Derek James out here. He got 2 champions with 3 belts. Got 2 guys 1 belt away from being undisputed. So, we got to put some respect on this man's name. But I appreciate everybody for staying in the chat, everybody staying engaged. I appreciate everybody who came through and spent some time with us on the panel tonight, talked about these fights. Thank y'all so much. And please continue to support the channel. I know Kyle appreciated it. I appreciate it. Even when I can't get on, with my work schedule and everything, I'm still listening. I'm still playing in the background. I'm still paying attention, man, and steady taking notes, trying to get better at this thing. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all coming through. In Shape Street Fight, I appreciate you keeping me company.
That, baby. Yeah,
brother Dirk, W. Rice side, my brother Brandon Washington, my other brother Prieto So Central. Thank you for coming through. Who else came through tonight? Mex, I didn't get to talk to you tonight, man. I saw you came in. I'm sorry we lost you so early. But man, we're gonna talk about this again probably on Thursday. Because there's another
see what he said about Jared Cannonier and Izzy, huh? He said,
yeah, man, that's gonna be a good fight. Yeah. I would love to go to that fight, but it's in Vegas and I don't fuck with Vegas.
Okay, then.
So, we're gonna see what happens, man. So so we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. Thanks once again. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate everybody who commented.
Peace out. Yes, sir. Peace out.
Yes, sir. We're gonna see y'all later.
At the roots, he let the beats build, bitch, and we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it cheap. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.